Take me on home to the asylum. Never alone in the asylum. Anarchy ruled, it was wild, but through it all you never smiled. Joke's on you, I'm in your head, so look who's laughing now. Remember in Arkham City, I killed your girl, so pretty. That was the night you let me die. But when I looked you in the eye, that's when I knew we'd be together. Look who's laughing now. I'm stuck in your head and I'm laughing. I fill you with dread and I can't stop laughing. Your parents are dead and I can't stop laughing. What else can I do? Now I'm part of you. I am the clown, prince of crime. And we've had a hell of a time. You're part of me, I'm part of you. And now there's nothing left to do. I just can't wait till I'm in control. Who'll be laughing then? I drove you round the bend and I'm laughing. I'm with you till the end and I can't stop laughing. I killed all your friends and I can't stop laughing. Oh yeah, I think I can taste your fear. Now that my time is near, I'm in your blood, I'm so alive. I only wish you'd let me drive. It won't be long till I make you kill. Who'll be laughing then? Barbara's dead and I'm laughing. Jason Todd's dead and I can't stop laughing. I'm even dead and I can't stop laughing. What else can I do? Now I'm part of you. I drove you round the bend and I'm laughing. I'm with you till the end and I can't stop laughing. I killed all your friends and I can't stop laughing. I'm cock-a-doodle-doo. All because of you. I'm stuck in your head and I'm laughing. I fill you with dread and I can't stop laughing. Your parents are dead and I can't stop laughing. I'm stuck in your head and I'm laughing. I filled you with dread and I can't stop laughing. Your parents are dead and I can't stop laughing. What else can I do? Now I'm part of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning or evening, wherever you happen to be. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad you're here. Just adjusting my headphone levels so I can hear. How's everybody doing? Everybody rocking and rolling, feeling good? Feeling good on a Friday. Sparkling thoughts. Give me the hope to go on. How's everybody? Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Eminem, awful. You? Oh, that's too bad. Hopefully your day is not actually that terrible, but hopefully if it is, we can make it a little better. Trying some Arkham Knight. I've been like racking my brain trying to figure out what to play today. And I have a list of things I want to tackle. I needed to go back through some God of War 2018 on Give Me God of War for some videos in the works, but I know that it's just going to like welcome in a ton of people being like, tell me all the spoilers for God of War Ragnarok, and we don't want to do that. By the way, I'm going to put this in chat. We will not be discussing spoilers for God of War Ragnarok. Any mentions in chat will lead to probably, what is it called, timeout and ban. We just don't want to risk people getting the game spoiled for them. So I'll pin that there, just to make sure you guys are protected against that type of thing, because like I said in the review, there's so much in Ragnarok that could be spoiled. I am honestly shocked there haven't been more like major leaks, if I'm being honest, because it's one of those games where even a screenshot could spoil huge chunks of it. So it's best just to not. So, you know, little questions about like gameplay improvements, combat changes, that type of thing, I'm happy to discuss. But for like story stuff, I'm going to pretty much steer clear. Can we joke about the spoilers? I think it depends on the joke. Like, the mods have been instructed to basically be better safe than sorry. So even if you throw out something that's like a joke, like, oh, well, Kratos comes out as, like, let's say he identifies as a cat, and then he spends the entire game, instead of saying boy, he goes around saying meow. That's clearly not true. It's a little funny, but like if like in that case, yeah, the mods will probably know that you weren't serious. But if your joke is a little more realistic and could be interpreted as a legitimate spoiler, they will ban you, and like no question. So just don't be stupid about it. Like they'll know. Yeah, not risking it. Probably better safe than sorry. It's just like, and if something happens and it was clearly a joke, then you can DM, but it's better just to not risk it. Also, you mentioned they subverted expectations. Is this The Last of Us 2 subversions, or will people actually be chilled this time? It's very different than The Last of Us Part 2. It's like the way I described it to my friend was just that every time you, like, you know, you play a game and you're like walking through the land of the giant kitty cat, and you're like, ooh, this is cool. I hope, like, it would be awesome if we got a big boss fight with a massive giant kitty cat from the land of the giant kitty cats. And then you're like, but the game, you know, they can't do everything, so who knows? Like, we'll just keep playing. And then it probably doesn't happen. Maybe you see the giant kitty cat in the distance, but that's about it. Anytime you think it would be awesome if they do it, and then some. And it's great. You know, that's what I wanted out of the original God of War 2018. And the fact that they delivered on that is just so wonderful. Will you play the last Valhalla DLC? I actually sent out a message. I sent out a message to like in the community post asking people if they would want me to go and play the Valhalla DLC, and I was like, I'll do it for you guys if you guys think it would make an interesting video or a funny video. And people were like, don't do it to yourself, you're good. So I don't think I'll bother. I don't enjoy that game. I get zero dopamine from it, so it would just be a labor of love for like a video. But if people are saying they don't even really want to watch the video, then who cares? Like, and the time commitment too. It's like these DLC are like 20, 30, 40 hours long. So it's not like a quick I tried video where I play it for 3-4 hours. It's like, okay, I've got to set aside a week of my free time. Maybe even 2 weeks when there's other games coming out. You know, it just doesn't really make sense. You have time to play other games with 4 days left before God of War review. Well, do I technically have time? Yeah, like we're playing Arkham Knight today, but I'm going to be playing God of War. Like, let's be real. I'm going to be just going through that, and then I'm going to start New Game Plus and just blast right on through to get the critique ready. I think I learned from Plague Tale, though. I'm not going to release the critique right on launch day. We're going to wait probably a week or two. That way people have a chance to play it themselves. Otherwise, if you release it right on launch day, people don't watch it because, of course, they don't want to deal with spoilers. Which I totally understand, you know. The real Ragnarok was the friends we made all along the way. Yeah. You said in the review that you had played 12 hours. How many have you played now? Maybe like 20. I played pretty much all yesterday. So whatever like a solid work day yesterday would have been. So probably around 20. I could check. You can manually save, but also has auto saves that are really like surprisingly accurate, like down to individual doorways. You'll walk through a doorway and it's saved. So like I can put the console to sleep and then start it up on this console and it picks right back where I was. So it's not like there's big chapters that you have to save at. It's pretty accurate with the auto saves. I like that the PS5 got a spoiler feature for its release. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Is that one of those things like, what was it? There was maybe it was Detroit Become Human. It was one of those games where they would have, like, if you tried to capture, oh no, man, I think it was Final Fantasy. I think it was Final Fantasy. You couldn't do like the share button whenever there was like a story beat going on that they considered a spoiler. You just couldn't capture it. And they even tried to do like the consumer electronic control or copyright control which is the CE or HDCP, high definition copyright protection, where it encodes and like whatever encrypts the HDMI signal so you can't use capture cards with it, but it only did that when you hit like story beats. Made it impossible to make videos for the game because like you just couldn't record it. So I'm glad they didn't do that for this. I have had trouble with my Ninja 5 Atomos capture card though. I don't know why. I think Ragnarok tries to swap the color space when you boot the game. Like the preview title, you know, you launch a game and then it comes up with like the wallpaper looking thing and then the game boots up. I think the wallpaper thing is like a partial RGB spectrum image and then it converts to full when you're playing on an HDR TV. But that causes capture cards to freak out because it's like, oh my God, you're changing everything all of a sudden. And it panics. I don't know why our chat is like only updating every 5 minutes. Why is it doing that? Can I refresh it so it goes faster? I just don't know. No, it's chatter. No, everything is updated. I'm going to refresh the cache. Forgive me. I swear YouTube's integration on these stream elements are just kind of ass. Anyway, but yeah, it really is tremendous. As someone who thought 2018 was pretty good, would you recommend getting it as soon as possible? Would a sales device? Devesh, I'll be real. Spoilers are going to be freaking everywhere. If I were you, I would just get it and play through it as soon and close to launch as you can. Because when I say like even a screenshot floating on Twitter will spoil stuff, like some of the coolest moments, I'm not joking. So I would just get on it and go in, you know, Twitter, Reddit, media blackout just for safety's sake. By the way, cringe call out, likes on the stream, greatly appreciated. We got 135 people in here, 35 likes. We have 100 people who haven't liked the stream yet. So if we can get those 100 people to smash that like button for Mr. Beast, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. No, eyeball. We're not going to be talking about any spoilers or anything. No, I am very careful with that. Even in the review, I only showed like, I think the footage we showed was only from the first 120 minutes of the game, just to be safe. Because you'll notice in the preview events, when people did their first impressions, they said you can only talk about the first 5 hours. Every YouTuber who posted a video, they're like, I want to share my thoughts after the first 5 hours of the game, whether it was Skill Up, Jor Raptor, ACG, whoever. And that was because Sony specifically asked, do not talk about anything that happens after this quest line, which is about 5 hours in. Do not talk about it. So like, okay. And the reason is because that quest line right after it, some stuff happens that is like freaking awesome. And they don't want to have it spoiled, naturally. Also, this is Sony's third AAA sequel. Did they figure it out? I will say The Last of Us Part 2, I know like people bash it. I do think that was a tremendous sequel in a lot of ways. Was it the sequel a lot of people wanted? I don't think so. But as a continuation of a really tough to stomach story, I think it fulfilled that purpose. And I mean, I made a 5-hour video breaking down the story of the game. I will argue that. But I do think that The Last of Us Part 2 was a successful sequel for some people. Like, I found it very fulfilling. I found it very interesting and compelling. A lot of other people were turned off by it. Horizon Forbidden West, I think it's just kind of really mediocre. And I've expressed my thoughts on that and why. People have said I should go back, try the game again, see if I have different opinions. I'm down to try it again. I think the game is freakishly overrated. And the longer I get away from the release of it, the more I stand by that and think that. And then for this, though, this I would expect literally every human being who enjoyed God of War 2018 will love this sequel. So, Last of Us Part 2 might be good, but it doesn't interest me to play because you have to, who you have to play as. Well, and that's kind of the thing, Jake, is it was never going to please everybody, which is part of the reason I respect it. Because like they could have played it safe and just done a feel good kind of thing all over again, but instead they just like they stuck to their guns and they did something kind of tough to do and hard to deal with, but they chased it. It was good. Did you bought a new PS5 to play God of War Ragnarok? No, I still have the 2 from launch that I have. So, no new PS5s or anything. I hope they have more enemy variety, unlike Ice and Fire enemies from 2018 God of War. I will say in the first, I actually have of course I do. I have a spreadsheet. That I was tracking. And I've been tracking because my biggest question was like boss numbers, like how many unique bosses do they have in this game? Because that was a huge lacking element in God of War 2018. And in the first 7 hours, there were more unique bosses, unique big set pieces, more like crazy cinematic moments than in the entirety of God of War 2018. And I like in the first 2 hours, I think there's more action and there's a better series of like boss fights than in the entirety of God of War 2018, which is crazy. It's crazy. Sophie, I think, let's see. I guess I could check with Rocky. Rocky was working on collecting those submissions, so you might be able to submit it. Still, you could just send it to him on Discord, and then I'm not sure if Rocky finished putting everything into the Imgur folder, but we'll see. Yeah, boom. Okay. By the way, everybody, we do have a series of emotes that we have on like the to-do list of things that we want to tackle and put up there. Problem is, we do still have to reach certain thresholds of memberships before we unlock more slots for emotes. So the more members we get, the more emotes we can put on there. We right now have some images of Nadia that we want to put on. We have some pictures of Cole, peace be upon him. Yep.
16 times the detail.
We have a lot of good options. So once we unlock more slots, we will be doing that. The glorious emotes, you're damn right. Sweet, not that mine is interesting at all, but I missed the original post last time. Rocky, I'll send it to you later, like an hour or so. Perfect. Yeah, no, that's great. As a dad, I'm super interested in the story between Atreus and Kratos. Are they closer in terms of the relationship in this game? Yeah, I mean, this isn't a spoiler because it was published by the studio, I think on their official Twitter page, well before launch. So I'm not breaking headlines here. But like in the entirety of the game, I don't think I've heard Kratos call Atreus boy once. And that's a small detail, but it's meant to reflect the different attitude they have because it's a different relationship, full stop. Like 3 years has gone by. They've been training nonstop in preparation for Ragnarok through Fimbulwinter. Like they've been prepping. And so it's just a different dynamic, but it's a much more mature dynamic, and I like
donated
it.
€5.99.
Thank you, my friend.
Chat. Hi, Luke.
Hi. Glad to have you. Thank you. $5.99. Very generous. Appreciate you. They took off boy. Yeah, I don't know what the chat plugin is doing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the deal is. I just refreshed the cache, and it's not working. I don't freaking know. Updating the news article. Hold on, Rocky. I've got a new one. Jacob sends me a new one every morning. So let me share this. I could probably, if you send me your email, Rocky, I could probably just tell Jacob to CC you on this, so you also get sent it. And I can, Imperium, if you want to be on it, we can put you on it too, just so you see the list of chat topics. Okay. So we've got a bunch of random stuff to talk about real quick. We've got updates from Henry Cavill on why he left the Witcher series, and spoiler alert, it's almost exactly what we thought. Just as bad as we all expected. So we'll talk about that. Some images of Kojima's new game leaked. Images being extremely generous because they're like 3 pixels wide and you can't see anything. Kojima finally addressed the abandoned thing, which was cool. Oh, did I not? Hold on. I see. Anyone with the link can do it. Editor. Boom. Done. Okay. Now you should be able to get in, Rocky. So yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff that we're going to talk about. Normally I would not show anything like, you know, the leaked pictures of an upcoming game, but I kid you not, when this looks like something somebody made in Photoshop, like it looks pretty ass, and I don't even know if it's real. So, you know, it's probably funny to look at. So, okay. Let's quickly address the elephant in the room. We'll blast through these relatively quickly so that we can run right in and talk about Arkham Knight, which is going to be pretty fun. Okay, so everybody knows this at this point. This released yesterday when the reviews dropped. Voila. God of War Ragnarok reviews. IGN 10, Gaming Trend 10, Game Rant 5 out of 5, Push Square 10, PlayStation Universe 10, Gameblog 10, VGC 5 out of 5, EGM 5 out of 5, Press Start 10, Easy Allies 9, GameSpot 9, Digital Trends 4 out of 5. All told, I mean, it's just receiving great reviews. 99% of critics recommend it. I would love to know what the one who doesn't recommend it is saying. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty freaking impressive. And the accessibility is also pretty expansive as well. Looks like Ben Bayless did a pretty comprehensive accessibility reviews. That's good. Appreciate that. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Dude, this fight is insane. and funny. Like, it's the one thing I really didn't brace for. I did not think this game would be as funny as it is. It's like actually got many moments in it that make me go, like I've actually cackled multiple times. They're just so witty, and there's so many little things. Like at one point, Thor walks in and he sees, should I say that? Oh, I don't know if I should say it. No, I won't say that because that's a spoiler. I mean, it's not really a spoil. It's just a funny joke, and when you hear it for the first time, I think you'll find it funny. In the review, I showed the clip of Mimir. Like, Mimir is with Kratos, and you're walking through a door, and Kratos, ugh. And and then Mimir just goes, "Use your words." It's just funny. It's cute. And later in the game, like some random NPC, who you can do a couple little things for, she sees Kratos and turns to another character and is like, "Oh my God, you have got to introduce me to that tall glass of milk." Because he's all white. Like, it's just funny. It's just funny. There's a lot of funny stuff in the game. That's a tall glass of milk right there. Oh Lord. It's so funny. And she's got the southern drawl for some reason. It's just good. It's good stuff. The game really is just tremendous. Oh, I love how they just slap the big 4K thing on it. I also don't know where they got this screenshot of Atreus. I have no clue. That doesn't even look like him in the game. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Somebody flexing their Target order. Collector's edition. Nice. God of War Ragnarok edition. It doesn't even look God of War themed, but okay, whatever. I do need a new DualSense for upstairs. Lachlan threw my PS5 controller across the room, and now if you take your thumbs off the joysticks, the screen just slowly pans to the right. So I've gotta deal with that. Yeah, kids are fun. So all told, the reviews are great. People are, a bunch of people are like, "Oh, it looks like Elden Ring has some competition for Game of the Year." Yes. And people ask me what my prediction is for Game of the Year at this point. I actually would say it's probably going to God of War Ragnarok. In my experience, if you look back through the last like 5-6 years of awards, almost every single time when there is a solid narrative game competing against a solid gameplay focused game, the narrative game takes the award. Mostly because like emotionally, that's part of what does it. Like 2020, there were some tremendous releases. But The Last of Us Part 2 took the awards, not just because it's Naughty Dog, but also because it told a very emotionally compelling story. And that's a big part of it. Meme Duca, I would say if you like are going to try and argue that Elden Ring has just as compelling a narrative as God of War, I would honestly ask what our definitions of narratives are. Because while it does have tremendous lore, it's got, the stories of the bosses between each other, even something down to the little Marika statues that are outside of each boss arena. All of those have narrative reasons for being there and story reasons, and they tie together. It's a very interesting world that From Software put together, without a doubt. But not even From Software calls Elden Ring a narrative game. There's narrative stuff in there. There's lore in there if you want to seek it out and find it. But it's not a narrative game. It's a gameplay game. So if you want to seek out the story, you can find it. But that's not what it's trying to do first and foremost. It's trying to give you solid gameplay, big boss fights. And it's just a matter of, if you want the story, it's there. But I would honestly say that most people who played played Elden Ring probably could not explain to you the broad lore of the game. Not because there's like anything wrong with it. It's just because that wasn't the priority. God of War Ragnarok has both story and gameplay. Yeah, it does. And I will say they've done some stuff with the combat and the gameplay to I said it in the review, subvert expectations. I thought I knew what God of War Ragnarok was bringing to the table. I was wrong. There's so much in here that no one has talked about online. No one has brought up. Nobody, I think, is expecting it in a very good way. You know, it's not that kind of thing where it's like, oh, Kratos, yeah, he puts down the axe, retires, and just starts a lemonade stand. You know, and he just starts selling lemonade to all the gods. No, it's not like that. It's like, it's markedly better than I think anybody's expecting. So let's see. I still have no idea what's going on in Elden Ring, and I've played it for 600 hours. Yeah, and like same thing with, like, I love Bloodborne, I like Dark Souls, but like if I had to explain the broad strokes of Bloodborne, yeah, like, so there's a hunt, and then the people that, you know, inhabited Yharnam, they decided that they wanted to, like, I don't know, it's been a while since I refreshed on the story. Like, there's the blood, and it corrupted them, turned them into beasts, and then every night they go out and they do the hunt. And, you know, at one time I watched a video going through like the college and how that led into all of these events in the story, and I could explain the lore and the story of Bloodborne to you. But if I just played the game, I would have no freaking clue. There's a reason. I think it was it Bloodborne? I think it was Bloodborne, where there was like a $10,000 reward offered for people who could adequately explain the lore of the game. And whoever got the most close and the most accurate description of it down would win the money. You know, like, it's just funny. Like, but that's the difference. Whereas God of War 2018, even, if you played the game, you can explain the different. Like, you can explain the story, right? So they're just different. And I think to argue that Elden Ring has just as compelling a story as God of War, I would say at the very least is either just a difference in definitions of narrative and storytelling, or it's downright disingenuous. Just because, like, if we come to the same definitions and you still assert that, there's clearly a difference in those games. Like, clearly. Everybody can see it. So to pretend as though there's not is just disingenuous at that point, I think. But my guess would be, Mimduke, is that we probably just have different definitions of narrative. Like, if I'm saying, no, a narrative game tells a narrative that is communicated clearly to the player so that when you play the game, you gain an understanding relatively easily of what's going on, why characters are doing what they're doing. Elden Ring is a great game, but that's not the priority. Also, the chat speed run, yeah, I don't know what it's doing. The chat box integration is just freaking out. Lore does not equal narrative. That's a good way of putting it, Kunal. That's a good way of putting it. Story does not have to be deep to be compelling. I mean, I would suppose, but I mean, again, it's all just definitions. Like, what does deep even mean? What's a deep story? A lot of people, I think their definition of a deep story would be a compelling story, in which case it's like saying, you know, a happy story doesn't have to be happy to be happy. And it's like, well, that doesn't mean a whole lot, you know. What was my cosplay for Halloween? I wish I had done something. We didn't. We just stayed in. Loki's only one, so it's kind of hard to justify. Like, he can't eat candy, so we can't go trick-or-treating and collect a ton of candy. Otherwise, we're going to have a ton of candy, and then Nikki and I are going to eat all of it, and then we're going to end up super unhappy and fat. So, like, it just didn't really make sense. So we stayed home, we ate chili, we watched a movie, and handed out candy to the trick-or-treaters that came by. It was fun. It was cute. And next year, we'll do something elaborate. I don't know what, though. We'll come up with it. Yeah, Sekiro, Abdallah, I think that's a good comparison. Like, Sekiro compared to Elden Ring, clearly Sekiro has a more palatable narrative. There's a story line that goes throughout the game, and they communicate it fairly clearly as far as From Software is concerned. Whereas in Elden Ring, most players are going to boot up the game, and they just get hacking and slashing, and they have no idea what's going on 99% of the time. How young is too young to play God of War 2018, in your opinion? I don't know. I think video games are great for kids, especially after some of the studies I saw where it increases hand-eye coordination, it increases problem solving. like gamers, people who play video games regularly are far less likely to get in life-threatening car crashes, which is just funny because they have better, like, usually spatial awareness, and they can make quick decisions much more easily than somebody who doesn't regularly play video games. So like video games can actually be a really good thing developmentally, if harnessed within, you know, reasonable constraints. It's not to say you should let your kid play video games 24/7, but it does actually help. Yeah, it's the reason I put video games as a hobby and interest on my CV. Yeah, no, and it's an actual asset for a lot of people. And it makes sense. Like, you play a video game, you're solving problems constantly. You're playing a shooter, you're constantly trying to stay aware of your surroundings, and you want to know where this person is, even when you're not looking at them, just based on auditory cues and where you remember them and all that. It actually does make a difference. It can be helpful. So, I mean, the youngest age thing depends on the kid, but I would say, you know, once you're in your teen years, you probably can enjoy it. And I don't think that game's particularly gory or gruesome. Like, yeah, there's some blood effects every once in a while, but if you watch any movie or TV show nowadays, you're going to see that type of thing. So, this next little story is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I wanted to hear Kojima's thoughts on the abandoned crap from the very beginning, because it just didn't make sense. It never made sense. Like, let's just be perfectly honest with this. The whole abandoned craze was insane. Basically, in case you aren't aware of what this was, what happened was that there was a game called Abandoned that was listed on a bunch of websites as an upcoming PlayStation game. They revealed a trailer kind of early on. They don't have it linked. Announced. I think this is it. This is what they showed off. And it is just as terrible as you would imagine. Jesus Christ, that was loud. Blue Box Game Studios. You pull it up. There are so many ads. Jeez, man. I need to get the ad blocker turned on for this browser. What it is, though, it's known as an asset flip. Basically, what they did is they went into Unreal Engine. They pulled a bunch of videos from or a bunch of assets from the Unreal store or whatever they call it. And they would just copy and paste into a scene. And then they rendered it like this and called it an upcoming PS5 game. And then what people did is they looked at this and they're like, I've never heard of this developer before. They haven't ever done anything before. And then they looked at it and they were like, oh, look at this. Trespasser. Okay, well, see, so the tree goes over the P, which is a hint that this is actually PT sequel. So clearly this is Kojima trying to tell us something, which is funny because it looks terrible and it runs at like 20 frames per second. Like, look at how slow the frame rate is. Look at how ass this looks. From the moment, I was like, even if this is an upcoming Kojima game, it looks like ass. Why is nobody saying this? The whole thing is also, it's not balanced correctly. Basically, what it looks like happened is they render this in HDR with one of the automatic plugins for Unreal Engine. And then they converted it to standard definition for video playback. But because they're idiots and they don't know what they're doing, they didn't color correct it, which I know. And I'm a dumbass YouTuber. I make YouTube videos for a living, and I know that. Right here on this SSD right here that you see is like 5 hours of God of War Ragnarok footage that I'm transcoding. It's captured in HDR. In order to get it playing on YouTube, I have to convert it to standard definition, and then I have to compress it down and then expand it back out so that the whites look white, so that it doesn't seem so flat and lacking in contrast. What they've done here is they just haven't done that last step. They just flattened it into SDR, and so it just looks flat and bland. And it's just terrible. It looks horrible. And it's not a game. Like, this is just a couple of quick little snippets running at 20 frames per second. Yeah, but that food has gone cold. I ate most of it. There's a few bites left, but that's why I let the Look Who's Laughing Now play out in its entirety before the stream, because I was shoveling food in my mouth. Godstown with like a basic font. Oh man, it's so bad. The fact that this was ever a thing. I mean, I think that really shows you how desperate Kojima fans can be. Look at the fire. Look how stupid that looks. Come on. You guys are thinking this was like a Kojima masterpiece in disguise? Come off of it. Come off it. Q4 2021. That aged tremendously, didn't it? Still has never come out. Nobody knows where it is. I don't think it's ever coming out because it wasn't a thing. Yeah, then look at this like cheap ass gun that they pulled out. Gameplay reveal coming soon. It's just horrible. It looked terrible from the start. But for some reason we have to all pretend as though it's just as valid as anything else on the market. So Kojima was tied up into this. People thought that it was a secretly developed Kojima game. It was a grand conspiracy. I do think he should have come out and said something. I know that some people were like, even if he came out, said, no, that's not me and my team, that's somebody else. We don't know. We have nothing to do with this. I think even then people would be taking his message and breaking it apart and be like, oh, he capitalized this word and we tie that to this word. And he is 52 years old. So if we count forward 52 letters, then loop back and overlap it, then we come to this and then it spells out PT. And if we divide by 4, you know, they would have done anything. But that's not his fault that his fans get into weird, crazy numerology bullshit. So I think he should have come out and just been like, this is not me. Okay, stop it. Especially because they were starting to, as far as I understand it, they were starting to accept pre-orders for Abandoned. Which, actually, no, I don't think they were accepting pre-orders. Were they? I don't remember. But basically, he was leading his fans along by not commenting on it. And I think that that was a little screwy. I think he should have come out and just said, I had nothing to do with this, which is what happened. And I mean, it's the typical Kojima response where it's all about him, which is just a little funny because he's kind of an egomaniac. You see, he says, quote, users just kept sending me pictures of this Hassan. Kojima told the Game Awards producer Jeff Keighley in the episode, according to VGC, quote, they still send me collages and deep fake images, like 20 a day. It's really quite a nuisance. I have never spoken with Hassan. The game is yet to be released. Yeah. I don't think there's much he can do or say at this point, but if he releases the game, people might understand, so maybe he should just hurry up and release it. And that's it. That's it. He's just like, yeah, I have no idea what it is. And it's a nuisance. It was distracting. I'm like, yeah, it was a nuisance for everybody, dude. You should have come out and said, hey, it's not me. Shut up and stop being stupid, guys. Clearly it's not me. I have nothing to do with this. It looks like ass. You should have just come out and said it, but what are you going to do? What are you gonna do? Not buy Abandoned. Apparently it's still in development. Hassan refuses to acknowledge that the game is kind of a scam and never really existed. And so he says it's still in development, even though nobody's heard about it and it was supposed to release last year. They haven't so much as released gameplay. It's crazy. There's still a couple people out there who think that it's real. Who think that it's actually Kojima. Which is just hilarious. You know, it's important to be understanding, right, of people who have difficulty understanding basic things, because sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes there's other stuff going on, right? It's important to be understanding and show grace to those people. But when you try so hard for so long to wake somebody up and they just insist on being wrong, full stop, you gotta just move on with your day. Like, come on. Yeah, I don't owe you anything to like to carefully explain each and every little thing to you. You know, it's just, And even then, when you don't want to, like, the people who still believe Abandoned is secretly a Kojima project, that, like, they want to be wrong at this point. All of the evidence points in the other direction. So if they still hold on to that as the case, you're not going to convince them by showing, like, statements from Kojima. You're not going to convince them by explaining, no, look, it's an asset flip. We can find this exact model on the Unreal Engine store. You can show them that this was built for free by people who didn't really know anything. We can demonstrate that. They want to be wrong, and that's all it is. Yeah, it's like talking to flat earthers, exactly. In the same vein, geez, man, there are so many ads everywhere. Now they're showing nutritional drinks. I'm such a dad. They have me figured out. More images of Hideo Kojima's Overdose horror game leaked online. Like I said, I would not qualify these as spoilers because they don't even look like anything. Like, they seriously don't look like anything. It's like a blurry, look how blurry this is. This is the leak. This is the entire leak. What am I supposed to do with this? I don't understand. This person needs to charge their phone. Yeah, this is the news story. This is the whole thing. That these pictures leaked, and that's it. A Polish publication has leaked several images of the upcoming game. I don't even know what to do with this information. Enhance. Yeah, we just gotta say it 15 times. Is that Mama? Yeah, I do believe it's the same actress. Yeah. I believe it's the same actress who played Mama. So, we'll see. We shall see what that looks like when it eventually comes out in 15 years. Who knows? Who knows? Let's talk about this real quick because we were all wondering about this. We speculated last week that Henry Cavill was probably leaving The Witcher because he wasn't happy with the direction they were taking it. Well, come to find out, that's pretty much exactly why he left. So we were speculating, like, okay, he landed Superman again. And like 5 days before he announced he was leaving for season 4, the news came out that the writers of The Witcher on Netflix, many of them openly hate the books and openly hate Andrzej Sapkowski and the games. They detest them. They think they're sexist garbage, things like that. Which, I mean, begs the question, if you hate something, why are you making a TV adaptation of it? But whatever. Turns out, in a very nice and sort of PC and diplomatic way, Henry Cavill explains almost exactly that. What he says was, quote, "The toughest part for me was finding that balance between the showrunner's vision and my love for the books and trying to bring the Geralt to the showrunner's vision. It's about treading a fine line there. It's the showrunner's story, and so it's an adaptation. The tricky bit for me was finding Geralt from the books' place within that and being able to serve both as much as I could. The things that I pushed for, it was not necessarily just more dialogue, it was bringing a more book-accurate Geralt to the screen. Blah, blah, blah. All of my asks and requests were along the lines of just being faithful to the source material. And what isn't said here is what's inferred. And what's inferred, or what can be inferred from this, and what's implied here, is that his asks were not being met. And his priority was being faithful to the source material. So if that's what he wanted, that's all he wanted as the star of the show, and he ended up leaving because they couldn't come to an agreement on this, what does that tell you? Well, the showrunner's version was not faithful to the source material. Like, it's not that complicated. So he decided to back out because the showrunner's vision was not in line with the original content. It was not in line with what I think fans expect from classic Geralt. And it jives with what we've seen from the show so far, where it's weirdly obsessed with covering stuff that has nothing to do with anything. I frankly don't care. Like the Frangilla questline, the Frangilla plotline in season 2 had nothing to do with anything, and it literally goes nowhere. No spoilers, I guess, in case you haven't seen it yet. It literally goes nowhere. They spend the entire season covering this one character, and all this political intrigue stuff has nothing to do with Geralt at all. And then, you know, in a show called The Witcher. And then at the end of the season, they do something to just cut it off, and it goes literally nowhere. It was a total waste of time. But it was just their chance to put Frangilla on the screen as like a central character. And it's pain. It's ass. And it's funny. The show made Geralt a side character, Bloodwolf. Like, that sounds like a joke. It's not really a joke. It's kind of true, because he actually was basically treated like a side character in his own TV show. Geralt didn't appear very frequently. He would show up in the first episode a lot and the last episode a lot. The middle episodes were obsessed with going through this Frangilla storyline that, again, was a total waste of time. Which, again, you just have to ask. If the writers know how this storyline is going to end with a character, that's already a detour and shows a lack of focus. If they know that this is going to be a waste of time, but they still choose to give that character like more screen time than The Witcher in a show called The Witcher, why would they do that? And to me, it's because the priority was never to make the show about Geralt. The show was about making these secondary female cast members the focus of the show, which, again, it kind of makes sense in the context of the story, or in the context of the broader narrative around The Witcher on Netflix, which was that the writers found the original content to be sexist garbage. And as a result, they wanted to flip it on its head and turn it into like an empowerment piece, which I'm totally down for empowerment. I'm totally down for stories with cool female characters. I am all down for that. Love it. But you should not be surprised when Witcher fans are upset that the Witcher show is not about the Witcher. You know, like, if you want to do a spin-off, call it the Frangilla show, and it's just a season of nothing but Frangilla talking in a posh British accent about random crap and how she wants to undermine all these people. That's cool. I probably won't watch it, but that's fine. But for you to take the Witcher series and then flip it into like the Frangilla show, it just doesn't make sense. Sophie, even as a woman myself, even I'm a little tired of it when it's done in the wrong way and sacrificing the purpose of the show. I mean, I would agree. I think it does a disservice to stories with actually compelling narratives and empowered female characters when the extent of what you're like providing is just taking like shows about a man and then trying to rework it into being about a girl in a secondary role and promoting her into a lead character role. Like I said before, I think Plague Tale Requiem and Plague Tale Innocence feature a tremendously strong, vulnerable, and inspiring female character. I think they're great. I think with like Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn, I find Aloy much less compelling as a protagonist, full stop, much less a female protagonist, not because I hate her, but because they refuse to give her any vulnerabilities. They act like she's Superwoman and she doesn't feel anything. To the extent we're in Forbidden West, they literally create a clone of her in the game that feels all of those emotions and feels vulnerable and worried and is anxious about what they're doing. And they just have that clone have all of the emotion. But Aloy is still the resolute one who's like, figure it out, slap yourself out of it, stop being stupid. And that's just not compelling. It's not compelling when a girl does it. It's not compelling when a man does it. It just isn't. Like, it's why the stereotypical Superman thing of I've got everything figured out. I'm Superman and I can do anything whenever I want and doesn't matter. that's a not very interesting character. Whereas Superman, when he is interesting, is when they embrace that he has all the power, but he still has weaknesses. He's got everything, but he's still haunted by these other things. He's not perfect, and that's what makes somebody interesting. Perfection isn't interesting. You're just a robot at that point. It's your weaknesses and vulnerabilities that make you who you are. And the Frangilla thing, again, it just seemed like they were obsessed with not giving her any interesting traits and just like I guess I'm beating a dead horse at this point. It's just frustrating because we wanted the Witcher show. First season, decent. We were interested in it. The plot lines were kind of confusing for people who are not familiar with the story already. So second season, they tried to sort it out. But instead of sorting it out and making the show about Geralt and Ciri, they just double down on the Frangilla stuff, and it ends up going nowhere. So we're going to see what happens in the next season, season 3. But I would guess most people will probably be jumping ship, even with season 3. The fact that he announced this at this point is pretty telling. He could have waited and said after season 3 airs later next year, he could have just said then, oh, I'm not returning for season 4. I wish everybody the best. He announced it now, which makes me think that he saw the edits and the cuts for season 3 and was like, this is not what we agreed on. What are you doing? You know, the whole chat is full of dead horses. Beat him. As an Australian, even I can't support Liam Hemsworth as Geralt. Who did people are like, oh, we got Riverdale Geralt, which is just funny. It's like, yeah, I mean, kind of. I do feel bad for the guy. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. He just got cast in a role. And now people are like, oh, come on, that guy sucks. And he's like, hey, man, I just showed up. Come on, give me a break. But, I mean, it makes sense. People loved Geralt, loved Henry Cavill as Geralt because he loved the books, because he loved the story, and he wanted to respect the original content. And he's a giga nerd himself. Like, this man, this Adonis, sculpted out of marble, he, in his pastime, even though he's a movie star or whatever, he, as a hobby, paints Warhammer figurines. Like, he's a giga nerd. We don't deserve him. And now we see what happens, you know. We flew too close to the sun with him cast as Geralt. But I think he's getting out because he is such a giga nerd. And he's like, you're not going to ruin the show while I'm here. Like, I'm not going to stand for it. And he probably threatened. He was like, hey, if you guys keep doing this, I'm out. You can't do this to the character and expect me to just stand by and go along with it. And they said, oh, well, we're going to do it. Deal with it. We know how much you wanted to play Geralt. So what are you going to do? Quit? It's like, okay. Bye. So, yeah, I mean, this is a big blow for the Witcher series on Netflix. And I think it's probably going to go down the tank. Even if I think they will make a season 4 and the numbers will be in the trash can, especially if it is the case that starting in season 3, they start to really diverge from the plot lines outlined in the books, and it'll probably get canceled. Let's be real. Or who knows, maybe Netflix will, because they just throw money at random stupid stuff. Maybe they'll just keep paying for it. Let's see. I already kind of touched on that story. Let's blow past these. Please hold. Let's see. Let's talk about this. I already have that pulled open. And then we will pick which of these we want to tackle. Okay. Quick little tidbit. CD Projekt Red's new Witcher trilogy has gotten a director. Career news, I'm directing the new Witcher saga since joining CDPR. Pulling up. I believe nothing is impossible and raising the bar, telling emotional stories and creating worlds is what we're here for. I'm proud to be part of CDPR and work with such a talented, passionate team. Congrats. Congrats, my friend. According to his LinkedIn, the developer has been with CDPR since 2014. From 2014 to 16, he served as lead animator, responsible for the animation teams in The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077. From 2016 until now, Kalemba has been the head of animation and animation director for CD Projekt Red, overseeing, quote, all creative and managerial aspects of animations in the company. Which is crazy. That's a big job. That's a big job. And it's also important to note that this guy, he's an internal promotion, so it's not like they're bringing somebody in from outside. He's not coming from EA or anything. And he also is a veteran in the animation department, which I've always said, Cyberpunk 2077 has some of the craziest animation work I've seen in a while. For an open world RPG. It's very, very well done. And I mean, the cutscenes, specifically conversations with characters, I think they have the best conversational animation system in the world, for dynamic conversations just happening in the world while you're talking to characters. It's very, very impressive. Even like Red Dead 2, while Red Dead 2 is a looker of a game, Red Dead 2 is limited with going into, basically they do like model swaps and animation rig swaps when the camera goes into the cinematic mode, right? And then it kind of replaces the model for the animation system out kind of quickly without you noticing. And in Cyberpunk, they do a similar thing, but it's far more fluid because you can just walk straight up to a character in first person, look them dead in the eye, start talking, and already that shift has happened. There's no slow camera transition into a cinematic camera. It just happens. So it's just very, very smooth, silky smooth. So I like that they're doing this here. So props to him. Got his promotion. Now he's heading up the trilogy. Work on The Witcher 3 and work on Cyberpunk. So it's badass. Next little tidbit. Activision, Blizzard, and CWA spar over union election, silenced employee accusations. This is a big concern in the industry right now, not just with Activision, but everywhere. Even Starbucks is dealing with this right now because employees are starting to talk about unionizing. And it's just out of a general frustration where they're like, hey, so the big corporate guys like Bobby Kotick are making hundreds of millions of dollars the same year and the same quarters that you're slashing dozens of employees' pay, you're firing tons of them to save costs, and that just kind of sucks. So let me say, like I've said before, I have a degree in corporate finance. I know how corporate budgets work. And the whole idea, you know, what you'll hear from some people who are like the union buster types is they'll say, oh, well, you can't unionize because then the company will make less money and won't be profitable. There's a term called ceteris paribus. What that means is all else equal. If everything else stays the same, is that true? Yes. If you raise pay and nothing else changes, then yes, your business will be less profitable. That's true. The thing is, we're not saying ceteris paribus. We're not saying all else staying the same. What we're saying is, no, you raise the employees' wages, and that will force you to lower the corporate compensation. And you can raise the employees' pay not just by increasing salaries, but also by offering, say, stock options, which is how Bobby Kotick gets paid. People think that there's just like a big check, like he gets a deposit to his checking account of $200 million. No. What he does is he gets access to buying shares of stock at a set price in the future. So say their stock is trading at $70 a share, he will get a stock option as part of his compensation package at the end of the year, where he then has the right to buy, say, 100,000 shares of stock, not for $70, which is what they're trading at, but maybe at $20 a share. So he's getting paid effectively $50 a share times the 100,000. So, 5 million or whatever that ends up being. So that's how he's compensated that extra amount. It's not with just a blank check. And that's easier for the company to dish out because the company doesn't technically have to take that out of their books. They're just writing that out of nothing. And because the company is valued at this point by Wall Street, they get, it's worth millions of dollars, right? So all the employees are really saying is like, okay, well, if you're going to do this, you just like, you should start offering that type of thing to us. Now, some companies do offer lower level employees compensation through stock options. That's true. It's not really a common thing unless you're working in a job usually that I've seen that pays over $150,000 a year, and you have to be fairly educated, meaning like a master's degree, before they'll start giving you stock options. And it's part of this idea that, you know, if you don't have a college degree, if you don't understand the inner workings of the stock market, then you're probably not even going to understand how stock options work. So paying somebody in stock options probably just doesn't really make sense. Which whether you agree with that or not is kind of beside the point. The point is that there are ways to balance this out. And when people say, no, we can't raise your pay from, you know, say, I don't know what these designers are making, maybe $30 an hour. We can't raise it from 30 to $40 an hour because we are just limited on budgets and we can't swing that. Sorry. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, you can, you just don't want to. And I'm not saying they shouldn't, like, it makes sense why the managers don't want to, because yeah, it'll make their business less profitable. And when this is the thing, when your pay is tied up in the stock price, you care a lot about how profitable the company is, because if the profitability drops, the company is worth less, stock will trade less, and then you are getting paid a hell of a lot less. So you care if the stock is going up or down, and that's based on profitability and a bunch of other stuff. And so you don't want to juggle this nonsense as you see it. And so you just try to shut it down. And that's what these guys are trying to do. They're just trying to shut down the union elections, silencing employee accusations. They're trying to just shut up the employees so they can get out with their fat stacks with the Microsoft acquisition. And it'll probably work, to be real. Honestly, I think this type of thing keeps happening until there's a broader movement in the U.S. to just unionize a lot of public spaces. Starbucks is another company that's really tried to smash unionizing, because a lot of Starbucks employees have tried to unionize. Some stores have. And basically, if you don't know what unionizing is, it basically just means like all of the employees come together and then negotiate collectively. So they say, oh, you want to fire him because he doesn't want to be paid what he's being paid? Well, you're going to have to fire all of us. Your entire store, if it's Starbucks, your entire store will quit and walk out if you refuse to negotiate with this person. And they're like, okay, yeah, lose your job, walk out. And then the whole store walks out. And all of a sudden that entire building is empty. There's no, like, they have to shut down the store. That costs the business owner a hell of a lot more than just paying somebody an extra $2 an hour, right? So, and what's funny is, like, this is a slight diatribe, but this is what's so funny to me about this. Like, the people who tend to be against unionizing, at least in the U.S., are, like, the hyper-conservative, financially conservative people, usually on the right. It's a lot of, like, Republicans, usually. And I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I have stuff to disagree with you on a lot of stuff, on both sides. But what's funny is that those same people are always pointing at the 1950s as like the golden age. It's like, oh, back in the 50s, we had stuff figured out. It's like the 50s, America was like union central. Like every major industry in the U.S. was unionized. It's just so funny to me. They're like, oh, so you you loved it back then, but now you hate it. And, you know, spoiler, back then, people on your side of the aisle also hated it. But you look back at the 50s and you're like, oh man, people were able to afford houses just casually, and everybody seemed to have pensions and they could retire regularly, and they would work one job and stay at that job for decades. It's like, yeah, that's because of the unions. Like, how do you not? It's not that complicated. Like, I'm shocked you have to understand it. But people just don't tend to think that dynamically. They just kind of echo what they've heard before. But anyways. Unions get abused too. I've seen a ton of instances where employees 100% shouldn't have been fired, or should have been fired, but it wasn't due to unions. Oh, thesaurus, absolutely, that can happen. And that's why, unionized negotiations have to take place. And you have to make sure that rules are installed such that you can fire employees who deserve to be fired. Absolutely. We agree on that. If you're saying, well, the only unions that will exist if we unionize are unions that allow you to keep your job if you're horrible at your job, then I agree that unions shouldn't exist. There should be rules that protect good employees and punish bad employees. But I think we agree there. Cool. But arguing against that and arguing as if that's what people are arguing for when they say, oh, I think we should unionize game design, and protect those employees that way. It's that's a bit of a straw man, because nobody's arguing, yeah, I should suck at my job and keep my job. Nobody's actually saying that. So arguing against it is as if that's what you're arguing against, which is what my parents do, is kind of it's kind of disingenuous, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I know people that do that, and it's just kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, speaking of punishing bad employees, like the stream so Luke doesn't punish me. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about this real quick. This is interesting. EA reiterates that a major game will be released before April 2023, and it may just be Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I am all down for. For one, it seems like Q1 of 2023 is going to be absolutely insane. There are so many games coming out in February. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It's going to be just a wild ride. But apparently they have a lot of stuff lined up, which I'm down for. I'm down. Yeah, so this is Q4 fiscal year 23. So this stuff has already come out as far as I understand it. So this would be by the end. So yeah, Elias Games expecting before the end of fiscal year 23 on March 31st, 23. So this is when their fiscal year ends. So Q4 2023, FY 2023 is January 1st through March 31st. And that means Dead Space, PGA Tour, Super Mega Baseball, Wild Hearts, and a new major IP. Wild Hearts I'm interested in. I think that'll be a solid 8 out of 10. I'm down to try it. It looks interesting. It's Fortnite mixed with Monster Hunter, and I'm about it. We're going to see what that's like. Dead Space remake, that looks great. I'm sure that's going to be good. And then a major IP, which they haven't announced. This is weird that they haven't said, they didn't just say what it is, but whatever. If we look at every EA game in development, Star Wars Jedi Survivor seems to be the best bet for what this mystery game may be. Jedi Survivor is the sequel to 2019's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and it was announced in 2022 with a 23 release date window. Other games we know about, Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which only just completed its alpha development milestone, the next Mass Effect, which is seemingly even farther away, EA's 2 other unannounced Marvel games, along with its Iron Man game that is in early development, and 2 other unannounced games from Star Wars Jedi Survivor developer Respawn. 2 other possibilities could be Skate or the return of EA Sports College Football, but the former only reached pre-alpha in July of 22, and the latter may not make sense as we haven't learned any more about it, and EA may want time to time the release of the game with the start of college football season in the fall, which is absolutely true. If I were putting money on it, I would guess it's probably Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I still don't know why they wouldn't just say Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I don't know why they would keep that secret. We know it's coming next year. Why not just say it? It might be that they have 2 games that are currently floating, or it might be that they have this game floating and they're we think we're going to hit the target, but we might have to delay it by 3 months. We're not sure. Maybe, maybe not. And if that's the case, maybe they're trying to just keep expectations soft. I really don't know. I don't know. Obviously, it could also be a game we haven't heard about before, but with April only less than half a year away, that gets less and less likely every day. Sure, Fallout 4 did something like that, but those types of releases are few and far between. True. EA had previously confirmed that this major IP would be released in Q4 of its fiscal year 2023 back in May, and it looks as though it is still planned to make it before March 31st. So we'll see. I'm down for another Star Wars Jedi game. I thought the first game was really solid. I do want to reiterate, I had a ton of technical issues, but it seems like I was alone in that. I was playing on a series or a One X, Xbox One X, and I had tons of bugs and glitches, like the floors disappearing. It was weird. I didn't see anybody else with those technical issues. So I think maybe my console was just ass. Maybe I had a problem with it. Maybe it was, I don't know. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is 8.7 out of 10. I would actually kind of agree with that, Meme Duke. I think that's fair. Like, it had some issues, but I would probably generally agree. I think one of my frustrations was, one, that it was short. Two, there weren't a ton of like big boss fights that were really interesting. There were a couple big set pieces, but nothing that exciting. And it was like, it was good, but it kind of gave me the same vibes that God of War 2018 gave me, where I was like, I can see the vision of what a full-fledged, crazy high-budget version of this would be like, and I want that game. This game is not that. Like, we're just getting started. Rocky, I see you. Did you send it to me on Discord or something? Is it Gamer Setups? No, I don't see it. The only 9.5 out of 10 are The Witcher 3 and Red Dead 2. Yeah, the rating stuff is tough for me because I like the numerical ratings. I understand, but there's, I don't know. Perfect scores are really tough. Not the setups. Yeah, perfect scores are tough for me. I got a chat fix for you. Oh yeah, Rocky, what is it? Not only do I like Gotham Knights, I also main as Robin. I guess I'm built different. Thomas, you rebel. Jeez, man. Oh, Baseed, thank you. Restream.io/chat. Hold on. Yeah, even like the main YouTube chat here also does it in my like control panel. Do you think God of War Ragnarok will get a perfect score? I don't know. For me already, there's a bunch of stuff that I have problems with. Like, I've already noticed a handful of things that I would change. And things I would classify as maybe issues is a strong word, but things that I was hoping to see more improvement in that haven't been improved that much. Like, for example, there's issues. Forget types, but read and apply message multiple stream. Okay, open in browser. Let's try this. So there's stuff like I mentioned in the review, the work in progress review. The puzzles are very, very like repetitive and kind of bland and boring. There's oh, did it work? I don't know if it worked. I don't think it worked. I see new chats coming in, but they're not. That's because puzzles are hard to make. Well, and for me, it's just I generally don't like games that rely on busy work to pad out gameplay time. And God of War in general, I think, does a good job of making sure that things stay interesting, but there still are times where it's like that. I mean, that probably didn't need to be there. That was just meant to like pad out gameplay time. Rocky, I'm going to try to get this working. I logged in with the right channel and it just sits here and says chat is waiting for new messages. So I'll mess around with it. I don't know why it's being stubborn. I think that's what turned me off of the original God of War. Like, you get all this great action, then you have me solving a puzzle I give absolutely zero F's about. The stars, yeah, and they do a better job of like pacing it in this game for sure. There's a lot more action and less filler. And the filler, like when they put filler, it's usually when there's like there's stuff for the characters to talk about. And so it doesn't just feel like you're just standing around doing nothing. And then again, like I'm playing through all of the side content, all the side quests. I'm playing it very by the book. And that I think is making it so I am having more time doing the side stuff that has a lot more puzzles and stuff than maybe most players who just blast through the main story will feel. But you know, I'm not going to apologize for playing the whole game. This was also just funny. This was just funny. Warner Brothers Discovery loses $2.3 billion. Hints at imminent price hike for HBO Max. Yeah, I mean, $2.8 billion loss is insane. Like, just appreciate how much money that is. $2.3 billion lost. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And I mean, it's HBO Max was going to run into a wall eventually. They were spending all of this money on stuff that just didn't make sense. They've aggressively slashed their animated offerings, canceled movies like Batgirl, and removed shows and movies from the services. Like, what was it that they removed recently? I think it was a bunch of cartoons, and it pissed a bunch of people off because they're like, oh, we loved that. And people are like, yeah, well, I mean, it's too expensive. Deal with it. It sucks to suck. Look at that. I do really sincerely think that this is going to be a period in movie history. We look back on these suits in like 10 years and like, what were we thinking? It's like, you know, those old Batman suits that have the actual nipples on them. I think it's going to be like that. We're going to be like, what were we thinking? These things are hideous. It's like the weird scales on all of it. I think we're going to really regret. It's going to be like, just looks bad. But HBO Max, yeah, losing tons of money and they can't seem to figure it out. Which is just kind of, I mean, it's no shocker. You can't just do whatever you want. It's like in, I think it was South Park, where they did the Netflix show thing, where Netflix was just writing checks, blank checks to anybody who had any ideas for TV shows, because they were just like, yeah, we just want content. So just like, oh, you have a show about blah, blah, blah. Okay, how's $30 million? How does that work? Like, that's the only concern they had. Like, oh, it's a thing? Okay, here's money. That's kind of how they've been acting with this. And so it's about damn time. This also, is this a real HBO thing? Who is this Superman? And why do they have like airbrushed on abs? Like, what the hell is that? What the hell is even that? Look at that. It's like airbrushed on abs. Superman and Lois, was that not a comedy? Please tell me that was a comedy. Was that a serious show? It's actually really good. I would never be able to see anything else than this. That he like, I'm Superman and I gotta look buff. So he like took a Sharpie and just drew his abs on. It's a CW show. Oh, that probably explains it. CW has always weirded me out. Anyway, HBO is losing tons of money and they're going to start slashing a lot of these budgets because they need to. They're losing a ton of money. Halloween costumes. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I get. Okay. We got one more story after this and then we're done. You ready for this? Big AAA John Wick video game could happen, Lionsgate CEO says. They've been fielding proposals, apparently, for a John Wick game, which is interesting. Especially knowing that Keanu Reeves has now experience in the video game space and is interested in the medium. This could actually be kind of interesting because you could end up with a John Wick game starring Keanu Reeves as John Wick in the game. Like, that's cool. I will say, I've never seen a John Wick movie. I don't have a lot of interest in John Wick movies. I'm just being real. I've never heard an argument for why I should. People like, yeah, well, I mean, it's Keanu and it's like there's guns and fighting and stuff. I don't know. Should I see it? Is it worth seeing? I don't know. Sergey's thinking they're great, rad, they're great. Okay, maybe I'll put it on my list. Okay, Sophie's with me. We haven't seen it. The action is so good. John Wick are fun. The action's great. Definitely, yes. I like I've only seen the first one, but it was pretty good. Great movie. Okay. I'm down. Non-stop action, great combat. You should. They're great. Okay, I'll add it to my list. I'm going to come back next stream on Monday and I'm going to be like, oh my God, guys, I've been awakened. Definitely brain turn off movies. Hey, that's totally fine. This is funny. Like walking and shooting at each other casually. That's funny. So apparently they're fielding offers. Basically, what that means is that studios are approaching them, or publishers are approaching Lionsgate, who owns the copyright to the intellectual property, and they are talking with them about making a game, and they're throwing out what they would need in order to do it, and showing them their history. I think the best studio, if I had to guess, like, okay, what's the best studio for something like this? Honestly, Naughty Dog. Let's just be honest. It's Naughty Dog. The gore alone, the gore tech they have would be amazing in a John Wick game. So that they would be my top pick. But beyond Naughty Dog, other studios that would be good, I think they would probably take it to whoever did the probably the guys that did Hitman. Even though I think like they don't specialize in action, they specialize in gameplay variability and replay value. So I really don't know. Rockstar, Remedy, maybe Remedy. Unacceptable. Should be Bethesda.
16 times the detail.
You could see every Wick on John if Bethesda made it. Remedy could be good. Seafood devs. Oh, seafood devs could be interesting. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That could be interesting. Rockstar. Yeah, I mean, Rockstar, they specialize in open world stuff, and I don't think a John Wick game should be open world. My understanding of John Wick is that it should be a linear action game, like action thriller. And it would probably be great in that capacity. Oh, Lordy. So I don't think Rockstar is probably the best pick. But anyway, Days Gone meets John Wick. Oh yeah, like if Sony Bend made it. They also do open world stuff though, and they don't have a tremendous track record. I love Days Gone. It was my favorite game in 2019, but I'm not sure if they would be the best. Sleeping Dogs devs. Yeah, the Hitman guys are working on a James Bond game. It makes sense. Like, John Wick seems that he just gets up in people's faces, and that works for him. It's not really like careful positioning or stealth or anything. So it makes sense. A 007 game is the ideal for them. Also, somebody, this is random. I just have to ask, why, like on that Starfield video we did, tons of people will like finish their comments. They'll say like, oh, it's good seeing you playing this game. And then they'll finish it and just write 07. What does that mean? I've seen like dozens of comments across like the stream, across the replay of it, with people saying 07. What is that? I seriously, Kevin 07? 07 is a guy saluting? Oh, so it's supposed to be like an emoji looking thing? O is the head, 7 is the arm? How have I never heard of that before? I've seriously never heard that. Really? Are you guys pulling my chain? Huh. Okay, well, you learn something new every day. Man's actually a boomer. Yeah, for real, Rocky. Huh. Since when? So, okay, Sophie agrees. I'm not alone. I feel like I'm totally out of the loop here. You're too young to be such a boomer. Is that really like a kid thing? That just seems like it's a niche thing. Like, if you are in these... I thought it was a Star Citizen thing. Like, maybe it was a reference to something in the game, like 07 is like what you call newbies or something. I thought maybe that's what it was. I had no idea. Never heard of it. Such millennial. Gosh, Luke. Okay. Like, Luke, me and you are a year or two apart. Yeah, I feel like I'm a boomer with a lot of things, but I feel like that was one where I just genuinely like, what? No idea. Let's see. Let's touch on this real quick. Last story, and then we'll get into Gotham Knight. Last story. Quick little highlight and recap of November games coming to Nintendo Switch. I know a lot of us have Switches and haven't touched them in 6 months. If you're one of those people, just like me. Did I say, Jesus. Yeah, Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight. I can't talk. Yeah. Anyway. Emoticon. Yeah, emoticons. That's right. Emojis are like the actual embedded thing. Don't get into Gotham Knights. Yeah, we'll get into Arkham Knight. Sorry. Okay, so I'm one of these people. I haven't touched my Switch in months. I got my Steam Deck. I have like very little reason to go on my Switch. Very little reason. And they're trying to fix it. They're bringing some games to it. Pokemon Scarlet Violet in November. It Takes Two is coming to the Switch, which is awesome. One game of the year. It's also a tremendous game. Highly recommend it. And the Switch is a great place for it with the split screen and everything. I'm really surprised they got it running, but that's tremendous. And then Sonic Frontiers. Zero interest in Sonic. Just being real. Just Dance. Don't care. Pokemon, I've never really been into Pokemon. I know some people will be all about it, but I've never been that into it. And then It Takes Two, I don't know if I'll buy it there because I believe it's on Game Pass. So you can just play it on Xbox. So I don't really have a reason to buy any of these. And so it's another example of just there being very little reason to pull up my Switch. And it sucks because I like the Switch as a handheld. I pulled on my Switch to like see if there were any multiplayer games that Nikki and I could play together a while back. And I was shocked at how little it felt after getting used to the Steam Deck. It feels tiny, but in a good way. Like I was kind of pleasantly surprised. I wish there were more games to play on it, but there really is just nothing. Like they really have hit a dry spell. And the Steam Deck totally eliminates the need for using the Switch as like a third-party console. It's painfully outdated currently, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about Sonic Frontiers. Sega's mistake on releasing it a day before God of War Ragnarok comes out. It's either that they're burying it or that they are just planning on appealing to the people who don't have PS5s. I don't know. It's weird. Skull and Bones was supposed to release the day before as well. So who knows what their thought process is. Is the OLED version worth buying at all? Not that I need or want it, but yeah. Honestly, if you had games to play on the Switch, yes, it really is that much better. I really like my OLED, but right now there's just nothing to play on it. Like there's no reason to use it, right? And that's where I'm at. Yeah. Well, and God of War coming out on the PS4 and PS5, though. Yeah, that's a good point, Sergey. Yeah. Everybody's going to be playing it if they have a PS4 or a PS5. I have not tested God of War Ragnarok on PS4. I have not tested it. I could dig out my PS4 and try it. But it's so silky smooth, and it's such a good looking game on PS5. I kind of don't want to spoil it. You know? Kind of don't want to spoil it. Hello everyone. What a coincidence. I'm playing through Batman right now, even though I opened your stream. This game is truly amazing. Awesome, Justin. Yeah, I am excited. We're going to jump into it. Why would you want to play it on PS4? Well, because there's a lot of people who don't have PS5s and still want to play Ragnarok. And so they are going to try to still get the game on PS4, which, I mean, it's if that's where you have to play it, great. At least you can play it, right? Let's see. Luke's going to be talking. Luke's talking like it's gonna take an archaeological expedition. Well, I have my PS4 Slim. It's actually in that bottom right cubicle right there in the display case, the OG PS4. So I still have that. I don't know where the power cable is. I could find that somewhere. Ooh, my Nikki has been wearing this like really old gross coat for years, And finally I was like, you need a nice coat. Like, it's freezing outside. It's like 36 right now. It's been snowing. I was like, you need something nice. So I ordered her a coat. It's on the way. I think she's coming. Babe and baby. Oh, just babe. Oh, thank you. Look at this. French toast. Oh, yes. Thank you. I like my French toast in like strips with maple syrup. It's what?
So the bread didn't do well.
Was I right about the bread?
No, it might not hold in the strips.
Okay. No, I'm down. I'm down. This is perfect. Thank you.
Homemade butter.
Oh, with your homemade butter. She made homemade butter. It's pretty good. Love you. So it's funny because I was about to go up and grab a snack, so that's great. Luke, am I a beer guy? I like dark beers. I do not like light beers. So I like Guinness, Sad Panda, that type of thing. I am not a fan of like IPAs or like what's another, like Grain Belt or Bud Light. Like I'd rather, I'm not joking, I would rather drink water. Like I really just don't like the light stuff. Ales, I like porters. I like I had one that was like this graham cracker stout. That thing was good. It was like 16%. It was crazy potent, but it's good stuff. What about good whiskey? Good whiskey, yes. The cheaper stuff I don't tend to like. It just tastes like ash. Like I've had a couple sippers of some nice, like, you know, those nice whiskeys that are like Glenlivet 15 year. Like those things are nice, but the cheaper stuff, like if all you've got is Jim Beam, like I'm good, you know. When you get Arkham Knight, can we get the 89 suit also? I'm jealous. That food looks great. Yeah, no, I'm very spoiled. Also, Rocky, which game were you saying you wanted as payment? I'm going to pay the mods in video games. So Imperium and Rocky, whichever games you want in the next few months, send me a DM on Discord with what it is and your Steam username or whatever, and I can gift it to you. Even if it's a pre-order. I just want to get it out of the way before I forget. Let's see. This actually made me curious. They don't sell alcohol where I live. It's that good? They don't sell alcohol where you live? Oh. I guess that is true in some places. I don't know. Is it that good? It's kind of a social thing. Like, kind of a social thing. I do it for free. Okay, so it's not a payment. It's a gift. Suck it up and tell me what game you want. That's an order. That's an order. Let's see. Also, I'm going to do it for the Discord mods too, because we've got some Discord mods on there that have been around for years. Let's see. And I'm finally at the point where I can like pitch in like that. Let's see. I don't drink, thank God. Honestly, it's something like if you want to avoid it, that's probably good. Like it's probably good for you just to not touch it. Red wine is good for you. The antioxidants are good for your blood. So red wine is good. But yeah, there are some issues with drinking regularly. And I've known a couple people who were like alcoholics. And it can like straight up destroy your life if you're not careful. Because some people, if you have an addictive personality, you should just never start. Thankfully, I have like a painfully non-addictive personality. I struggle to get into routines. Like the stream has been really good because it structures my day into a good routine. Like, okay, I'm in my routine. I got my thing. I'm lined up, right? I wake up, I've got the stream at this time, and we go to this time, and then we got stuff scheduled after that. Tuesdays, I do all my conference calls with sponsors and brand deals and stuff like that. And then, you know, Thursdays, we go out to breakfast in the morning. I figured out that routine. But I generally kind of struggle to get into it. How does Batman Arkham Knight start? I deleted all my save files and then I started over, and so now I just have a 2% one from July for some reason. Because I originally played this on console. Does it have copyright? Oh, right, because of the freaking Joker thing. You're right, Nathan. I should know that all too well because that cost me like tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, we'll probably start here. That's probably the way to do it. Downloadable content. I kissed your... Not kissed. I killed your girl. So pretty. Is there any good DLC? $1.99. Oh, God. The first appearance Batman skin. Oh, that's a classic. Arkham Knight Bat Family. Do I have the 89 skin? I thought I did. Maybe I do. Maybe it's here. Hold on. Options, maybe. Game options. What we're going to do is we're also going to test this. 30? God, no. 4K full screen. On for VSync. Shadow quality high. Just everything cranked. Bear in mind, this game is 7 years old. 7. It's kind of painful that it defaults to 30 FPS. Like, that hurts. What is this, Gotham Knights? Okay, let's do a PC performance test. Oh, already. What is going on? It's capped. I remember this being a thing. It caps the frame rate. Can I just turn... No, it caps at 90. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Let's do a PC performance test and see what it's like. Let's see what this is like. Yeah, I remember when this came out. This was all the talk. Darren, thank you, my friend. Hold on, I gotta scroll up. Your vid tell me so much, bro. Thank you, Darren. Thank you. $1.70 or £1.79. Thank you, my friend. Very generous. Minimum average 61.70. Why did it still looks like it's screen tearing? It's not really the performance I was hoping for. 95 out in the city. So maybe it's the smoke effect. 110. Honestly, not bad. Smoke effects. Look at that. We haven't seen that in a game in a while. The performance is okay. Like, it's still pretty... Oh, what was that? It's still a little inconsistent, but it's not bad. It was my understanding that the PC ports of these games weren't good. Yeah. The PC port of this game at launch was pretty horrible. That one back out of that. Like this, maybe I can pull this up real quick. Oh, where's my mouse? There we go. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. This 4 years ago, 7 years. Okay. It was this. This is how it ran back in the day. Look at that. The GTX 780 Ti. Top of the line right there. Is that not a throwback? And you see the weird difference? Low, 60, 60. And then you just see how inconsistent it is. That's just a problem. Drops to 40 and then 57 and 50. There were just a bunch of issues like that. I think there was one, yeah, PS4 versus Xbox One comparison. Can PC console, can PC explain poor console performance for Gotham Knights? Yeah, apparently the PC port just is not very good. They did some work on it, but it's never been tremendous. Oh, Jamie, this is the guy, Jamie and Sefton. These are the two guys that just left. The studio director, Jamie Walker, game director, Sefton Hill. Both of those guys just left Rocksteady. Zach, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. It's very sweet.
The 1080 Ti isn't quite as powerful as your Titan, but you seem to be getting consistently better results in areas like the cutscenes and the diner, which are kind of traditionally a bit of an issue here.
Yeah, that is something that's very strange. And looking at, if you know, uncap everything and run with VSync off, you can kind of see that the card is just hovering around that mark. Like, you're just at the limit where it's enough over 60 FPS and you can kind of hit that solid frame rate on this machine, but it's not so high that, you know, even just like a 2 FPS drop is enough to trigger that massive loss in performance. And I feel like that's probably where you're at with the 1080 Ti there, because it's so close, but just not quite there in terms of pushing over that limit.
Yeah, but obviously the 2080 Ti has got a good 30% plus overhead. And again, we're able to push higher. We do finally get lots for K60, pretty much. I mean, I think out of 18,000.
Yeah, it's just really weird. Like, it goes and it randomly ties and locks down to 30 at times, then to 60 at other times based on hardware. It's just a weird, bizarre port of a game. And so we're going to play it. We're going to deal with it. The only other console I have down here, I've got the PS5 and then I have the Series S. I could have played on console, but I have it here. And I don't think any of them, I don't think it's received any special treatment from Rocksteady. So let's just continue on. So part of the reason we're doing this, and we're going back to this, is because, of course, in the context of Gotham Knights, a lot of people are comparing this game. And I think they do that for a few reasons. Chief among them is that this game is beautiful. This game is dark and gritty, and it's pretty fun. And it's also just extremely fluid. It's the culmination of everything that Rocksteady did since 2009, I guess it would have been, when they put together the original Batman Arkham City. And when you compare it to Gotham Knights, there's a lot of easy things to point at and to show. So that's unfair to Gotham Knights. Well, so some people would agree, some people would disagree. The reason I think some people would disagree is because Gotham Knights is coming 7 years after this game. So even though this is a different team, even though this is being developed by one of the preeminent developers in the industry, Rocksteady, who also has been pretty much radio silent since this game came out, they've had 7 years. And you would expect 7 years, which is normally a full console generation. Like, that is a ton of time. They have plenty of time to make improvements. And the fact that Gotham Knights still, I think, looks a lot better is an issue for Gotham Knights. Not just in terms of art direction, but a lot of other stuff. And while the PC port certainly isn't great, I think the PC port for Gotham Knights, or for Arkham Knight, still runs better. Sure, it's had time for patches and stuff, but I mean, still, if we're making the direct one-to-one comparison, we might as well. I'm gonna tweet. It keeps screen tearing. I don't know what that is. We've got that on. I don't know why it would be tearing. Adaptive, ready to refresh, avoid screen tear, not able to maintain the service. Okay. Let's try that. See if that's better. So there's just a bunch of little pieces like that. Mr. Strimer, DM players. Okay, mouse. Hold on. Dooba 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 boo. Scabba boo. Ba ba ba. Oh, boom. You got them posted. Sweet. We can take a break in a moment and do those after we get a little more into this. So, I mean, I do think it is somewhat unfair to point to like Gotham Knights, compare it to Arkham City or to Arkham Knight and be like, oh, see, so the game's terrible because it's not this. Clearly, Gotham Knights was not trying to be Arkham Knight. Like, it was trying to do something totally different. But when you compare quality to quality, feature set to feature set, stability to stability, control to control, navigation to navigation, one is clearly the superior superhero game. The combat, I think, in Arkham Knight is markedly better. But then again, you know, if we're trying to play fair, Arkham Knight wasn't trying to give you 4 protagonists. So that's something that's important to note. In terms of world design, of course, this takes place at night, and the city streets are pretty empty. There's not a whole lot going on here. See that screen tearing? I don't know why that is. See, right on the tower. You guys see that? Right on that, like, center band right there where I'm aiming. They're screen tearing. And I don't know why. We have adaptive FreeSync or VSync on, and then we have regular VSync on, and it's still doing it. Why? I seriously don't know. It's interesting. Is this city or night? This is night. You can usually tell because night has rain going almost all the time. Might be all the time, but I say almost all the time in case there's a couple scenes where there's no rain. But I'm pretty sure the rain is going all night long. And it looks great. I mean, look at that. The game is just beautiful. It really is. City's graphics are a little outdated. And when I went back and I tried Arkham City recently, for that I Tried video on the main channel, I was stunned at how small the map is. The map is freaking tiny in Arkham City. You might not remember because it's been a while it's been a while since you played it. But like, goodness gracious, that map is tiny. I was blown away. I remember it being way bigger and more expansive. I was shocked. It's like 4 city blocks. It's ridiculous. It's tiny. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, the screen tearing is going to drive me crazy. I think this is why I played on Xbox, because I was so pissed off at how poor this PC port ran. Even now, it's still pretty rough. I mean, the fact that VSync is not getting rid of screen tearing, at that point, I literally don't know what else would be doing it. I replayed City yesterday, and it's overrated. Thomas, go back and play Gotham Knights. Go have fun with Gotham Knights, then. Let's see what takes place in here. The cutscenes are also great. Look at this fluidity. Can we go over here? Toggle detective mode. Use. Crunch. Scan.
Identity confirmed.
Noise.
Do I come in the Batcave, start messing with all your stuff?
You've managed to reduce the compound to its core elements.
But there's nothing in there that we can trace.
What if we've been looking at this the wrong way? Instead of searching for the toxin, what if we focus on the manufacturing process?
Why didn't I see this? The reaction emits a unique radiation spike.
Run a scan of the city for this energy signature. It will show where Scarecrow is creating his fear toxin.
It'll take a few hours to bring the satellites into position.
We don't have enough time. I'll repurpose the antenna at the movie studios.
Okay.
Bruce, I spoke to Dad. I hate lying to him. He'd kill me if he knew I was still in the city. He still blames himself for this.
Barbara, you gotta get your act together. You let people walk all over you. Walk off. You need to like grow a pair and stand up for yourself. Never mind. Never mind. Are we gonna see Joker? I hope we see Joker in a second.
Jim, we've got a way to find out where Crane's working from.
Thank God. What can I do?
Get your men ready. As soon as we've got a location, I'll let you know.
All right.
Did you hear about the guy working with Scarecrow? Bad case of bat envy.
Bat envy. That's good. That's good. I get that reference because we've played the game before. So like you see people down there, they're running around, they're doing their thing. I've always thought these games felt a lot more empty than they probably should have. But the design of Gotham in this game, I think, is much more in line with most people's expectations of Gotham than Arkham Knights. Arkham Knights, it feels very Ubisoft-like. It's very generic. Barbara pisses me off in this game. She was literally Batgirl, and she's worried about her dad finding out she's helping Batman. In this universe, does her dad know that she was doing that? The city is literally empty. No, he doesn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. Over here, then we get to use the bat tank. Now, this is one thing I said in my I Tried video. I was kind of frustrated that in Gotham Knights, you just tap whatever it is, up or down or whatever, and the bat bike just appears out of nowhere. It just like you watch it materialize. It's kind of cringe. In Arkham Knight, look what happens when I summon the Batmobile. Look at this extra attention to detail. How cool is that? That's way more grounded and interesting than anything that they've tried to do. My bad, my bad. My bad. Grapple hook is still like really inconsistent. Sometimes it does what you want to do, and then other times it really doesn't. I ruined the moment. Really grounded. Crash. Okay, I gotta pull that down first.
The country watches Batman from Metropolis to Keystone. We're going to give them a show.
Man, I forgot about how bad this PC port is. Am I not supposed to do this yet? Apparently not. Okay, I gotta go over here and do this first. It also really annoys me that in Gotham Knights, you don't swing. You just kind of like zip to everything. So like even like gargoyles in Arkham games, you like grapple to the roof and then you swing to it. In Gotham Knights, you just zap right along to it. I thought I had to use the panel, but I guess not. I had to like charge it. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Take me on home to the asylum.
I need to bypass it and power the antenna directly.
Dude, Kevin Conroy's so good.
Is the power winch ready for deployment?
It's 100% functional, though no guarantees if you're intending to pull that car of yours up the side of a building.
Read my mind.
It's in the job description, Mr. Wayne. That wing's on its way.
Now we do that thing. I was just ahead of myself. Okay, we zip over here. I keep trying to use left bumper. Oh. Did I want to go over there? Sure didn't. Sure didn't. Zip up. Anyway, there we go. We click into this. Camera pan. As I noticed when you grapple in Gotham Knights, there's a weird short pause when you get to the ledge and then the character jumps over. Not very fluid. At least it's better than the gravity, like, seismic, cosmic fart thing that Red Hood does. Power winch. That's why I couldn't do it.
How do you plan on getting the car onto the roof?
I'll improvise.
The winch needs a secure anchor point to function. Once it's attached, just hit reverse.
Okay.
And please be careful with the car, Mr. Wayne. She's one of a kind.
Lucius, I paid for it. Don't you ever question me again. I'm Batman. I'm the hero Gotham needs, which is why I just committed. Would that count as arson or just destruction of property? Or are those different? Because I hear arson, I think fire, but I don't think it has to be fire. Oh, God. Well, fart. My bad. You know, as much crap as the Batmobile got, a lot of it, like, rightly so. It is pretty smooth, and it does feel pretty good to control. You gotta give them credit for that. But of course, non-lethal. Yes, I have a gigantic cannon, but non-lethal, of course. We don't want to hurt anyone. Boom! It's so stupid to me. Non-lethal, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm going to launch a 40mm concussive grenade at your face. It's a rubber cannon fire. Oh, sorry. Yes, it has enough explosive power to kill an elephant, but I'm sure that random druggie is gonna be fine. Voila.
Oracle, I've restored power
Oracle.
to the radio antenna.
Great. I'm connecting now. I was just talking to Robin. I think you should too.
Bruce, you need me out there. We can find Scarecrow faster together.
What you're working on is more important, Tim.
Can wait one night. Let me help.
I've got this under control.
Okay. Listen, try checking in once in a while. We're partners, remember?
He just wants to help, you know.
You're not my dad, Robin.
Ready?
Yeah, but we're going to need a microwave tower to triangulate Scarecrow's location. There's one at Falcone Shipping in the Cauldron. I've marked it on your map.
Thanks, Oracle.
Okay. Robin, let me help, Dad. I keep forgetting this all happens one night. I like it, honestly, more than the thing like Gotham Knights did, where they have it so every time you go back to the tower, a day cycles. I don't know. It feels like filler to do that. And it works with the vibe. Like, this is supposed to be... They pitched it as the longest night of Batman's life. That's about right. Look at this. How cool was that? I always hated prying these things open, so I always run at them. Wait, what's the crowd? It's okay, that's right. So you run at them. Can I not slide yet? Run, slide. Oh, you have to tap it. Holding doesn't do anything. Okay, so you run, and then tap, and then he kicks it open. Way faster.
5 soldiers, all armed. If I alert them, they'll kill the hostage and need to reach a vantage point to draw them outside.
If you ask me, he's paranoid. Probably huffing too much of that gas. I'd like to see you say that to
Can you imagine a Batman Beyond game, but made by Rocksteady? Yeah, that'd be great. It does seriously concern me that the heads of Rocksteady are leaving. Like, that actually is concerning. I know it's like, oh, well, it's probably still going to be great. It's still... It's still a potential big issue.
The door stays locked. I'm taking no chances. Got it, boss. Crate's missing.
And again, you just notice the difference between the... did you know the burning temperature for most objects is between 415 and 465 degrees Fahrenheit? Or smashy, smashy, smash. Why can't I go in? Am I not allowed to go in there?
Scarecrow's men still have a hostage at the antenna.
Mm-hmm.
I should head back there before they do something they'll regret.
I am there. Rachel! Oh, I need the suit with the fear takedowns. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, son of a bitch. What does it want me to do? Am I just... Do they want me to take out these other two? Probably. Now that I say it out loud. Yeah, that's definitely what they want me to do. Take them out one by one. Don't mind me. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. Yeah, go separate. Love it. Yeah, putting your hand over their face doesn't work when they're wearing a mask.
3 more soldiers inside.
There we go.
They think they're safe if they stick together.
They sure aren't.
Lucius,
Dummies.
I've got a hostage situation. 3 gunmen. I need to take them all out before they can react. Is it ready?
Flexible plates over an MR fluid armor layer. You'll move faster, hit harder, and look scarier while doing so.
Send it, Lucius. Now.
Already airborne, Mr. Wayne.
No big deal. I've never liked watching a grown man get dressed so much. Look at this. Oh. Oh! I don't know why. This is a little like honesty for you guys. I don't know why. Right after I finished saying that, I almost wanted to just yell creamy, and I don't know why. Look how good the suit looks. Creamy. Why did my brain want to say that? I really don't know. I caught myself. I was like, what does that even mean? What am I even trying to say?
Let me walk you through it. The outer and inner layers of the bodysuit are made of a titanium dip tri-weave. It's between those layers where things get interesting. Wayne Tech MR fluid hardens in response to impact. With this kind of shock absorption, you'll be able to put more force into your counterattacks. The liquid armor is more flexible than the fibers you're accustomed to as well.
This is like some Apple branding stuff. It's the dynamic island armor. And it's far and away the best armor we've ever created.
Magnetic eject mechanism too. You'll fly out of that thing like a bullet from a railgun. Speaking of which, the new grapnel launcher will pull you skyward just as fast. Don't worry, Mr. Wayne. That suit can take the G's.
See how they allowed you, like they let you explore the city with the basic suit. Basically the same suit from Arkham City, right? This is a really, really good touch that I think we need to address and like compliment. What they did is they start the game for about the first 45 minutes with the suit from the last game, right? So you get to feel, okay, this is how it felt when I played Arkham City. Okay, it feels good. I'm back kind of in the swing of things. Okay, cool. And then 45 minutes in, they give you these upgrades to the suit. Not just the suit to make it so you can punch harder, right? Blah, 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 whatever that means. You can take more damage. But also, they make it so you can now eject out of the Batmobile, which is something you haven't been able to do up until this point. They also make it so your grapple hook, when you use it, you immediately get the super launch thing right here so that you can zip around the city much, much faster and more fluidly. Like, and this is something that's so clearly missing. Look at this from Gotham Knights. It's like kind of ridiculous because this is so fluid. You can just zip around quickly, dive, go back up here, quickly zip, double tap, shoot up. It's so fluid, but they give this to you for free without grind as part of the story beat of you like, okay, I've improved as Batman. I've got more stuff than I did before. That's just one of those little differences in design philosophy over what I think it was Warner Brothers Montreal did with Gotham Knights. People don't want to have to grind for the game to feel like it's new and exciting. The game should just be new and exciting. You shouldn't lock that behind a 2-3 hour grind. That's at least my opinion.
Suit to the test.
What the hell was that? You just called it backup? What's happening?
The new suit is faster and more mobile. By getting close without being detected, I can get the jump on them, and in the panic, take down all three before they know what's hit them.
Oh, ow.
Help me! Man, they said you were quick, but I never saw anyone take down 3 armed guys like that. Unbelievable.
I was shot
now.
6 times.
I'll send someone to pick you up.
I'm bleeding profusely.
Tell me you're gonna find Scarecrow. That son of a bitch needs to be stopped.
Oh, God. Thank you, Rocky. Appreciate you. Thank you. Get everyone's preferences. Okay. Well, there we go.
Not yet. I need to access the console.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Oracle.
I just love the idea that Batman has all this tech developed. Okay, I want something I can just put on the panel and it'll hack it for me. And Lucia's like, okay, I've got it designed. And then Batman comes back. Could you make it look like a bat, please? Are you serious, Bruce? Are you serious? I need to stop what I'm doing it works. It's a circle. But no, you want me to stop what I'm doing and make it so it looks like a bat. And also, so when you put it on the thing and it deploys, little wings come out. That's what you want me to spend my time doing.
Yeah, I would really like it if it looked like a bat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can do that. Bruce is just trying to be consistent with his brand. Yeah, he's like, what's the key to being a good superhero, Lucius? Branding.
I need to use both antennas to identify the
Like, look how fluid that was.
frequencies across Gotham.
If Gotham Knights tried to do this, we'd be down at 4 frames a second already.
I'll know where Scarecrow is manufacturing his toxin.
Okay.
The radio and microwave frequencies point to Ace Chemicals.
I do like the idea that they actually let you triangulate signals. I just find that cool.
Jim, I've traced the fear toxin.
All I want for Christmas is some Batman merch.
Impossible. I've had a team there ever since the evacuation started, just like you asked.
Crane must have bought them off. Or worse.
I'm in the area. I'll round up my guys and head over.
Hold off until I get there, Jim. I'm on my way.
Oh man, I love the grapple boost. Grapnel. Sorry. It's a grapple boost. I don't care. Deal with it. I'm waiting for when Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League releases so I can see everyone pretend that they were Gotham Knights fans from the beginning because it'll be the better of the two games. Yeah, I'm just so worried about the Suicide Squad thing. It just really doesn't look that great. I want to be surprised, but also like the fact that the studio founders are leaving, not retiring, leaving to do other things, that worries me. And that should worry anybody. Meow. Well, I've got some bad news for you. It's my dolphin dive.
Any word from inside? Nothing. We think there's a skeleton crew left in there, but they're not responding and the facility's locked down.
If they're still alive, I'll find them. They should be able to tell us what Scarecrow's up to.
What the hell?
And drones. I always thought that was a really stupid moment. Like, I personally can't stand when the bad guy has won, has the chance to win, and then chooses to just not do it for my reasons. Like, I personally can't stand that. It's just annoying to me because I'm like, so, like, they could have just won. Like, the Arkham Knight could, like, just had it. Done. But instead, doesn't. Lets Batman live for my reasons. Like, it's just stupid. And why did Batman walk straight up to the helicopter that had a rocket launcher on it? What? Like, it's just kind of cringe to me. It doesn't make sense. And there's other moments where things do make sense and they justify it. Like Joker not wanting to kill Batman makes sense, right? It's in Joker's character to let Batman live because Batman and Joker are like that. You know, they are the things that like justify each other's existence in a lot of ways. They're the yin to the yang, the shadow to the you know, sunlight. I don't know. So Joker doing it, it makes sense. But the Gotham Knight, like, or Arkham Knight, Jesus Christ. He wants to kill Batman. That's like the whole thing. And so it doesn't make sense for him to just all of a sudden be like, yeah, I know you can live, whatever. It doesn't make sense. Or like the thing later where there's actually a line of dialogue that he says when he's like, I bet you're wondering why I didn't put my men inside these tanks that are fighting you. And it's because knowing that you won't kill anybody, that would just make it too easy. What? Like, it's just dumb. It's just freaking dumb. But you're supposed to just be like, yeah, I mean, I guess video games. So yeah, sure, whatever. Okay. Take him out. I thought he was going to take out both of them silently. He sure did not. Meow. I really just want Batman's grunts and heavy breathing to be captured here. If you think about it, Joker's accidental plan turned out more planned than Arkham Knight, aka Red Hood with the Blue Hood's plan. That just broke my brain. That just broke my brain. Can I what tools do I have? Let's see. What have I unlocked at this point? Explosive gel, smoke, bat claw.
Nothing we can do here. Spread out and find him. Hey, what happened to you?
Okay, we'll let them cross.
Third man down. We have a third man down. No, you mean it's just us?
Yep.
We can do this. He's just some I know it's you.
I love these. Oh, I gotta knock this guy out. Let me do a backflip. Butt punch. Oh yeah.
It's safe to access the terminal.
Nice, man. That's how you do it. Man, that was something else. Double damage. Okay, yeah.
Let's see if Oracle was right.
Data connection active. Data decrypting. Someone needs to upgrade their security protocols.
It was dumb, but nowhere near as dumb as some of the dialogue and options in Gotham Knight. Yeah, and I like. I've talked about this recently on the channel a lot, especially in context of like Ubisoft games and like Odyssey and stuff like that. It is not fair to dismiss a game because it's not what you wanted it to be. You know, like that's a fallacy. So I don't want to do that because like it's just not really fair. Be like, oh, well, I don't like Gotham Knights because it's not Arkham City 2.0. Like that's not fair. But at the same time, if we're going to compare them as superhero games, you kind of have to call out the clear issues. Okay, the sword timings are a little different than I remember. Whack, whack, whack. Like, it's just so freaking fluid. Oh, there wasn't any slow-mo. There's usually slow-mo.
If I use the crane now, it will alert the tanks.
Okay. Yes, puppy. Yes, puppy.
This is perfect. I
You're fine, Sophie. We're wrecking and rolling. PC port's a little clunky, but it's pretty good. I can throw that far too.
Radio traffic between Scarecrow and this Arkham Knight. Relaying it to you now.
I had him in my sights. I could have ended it right there. We have not broken him yet. It will come. Now I've waited long enough. Batman dies. Tonight. Why do you hate him so much? You can never understand. Your revenge is at hand. This is his last night. I'll make sure of it.
Any idea who the Arkham Knight is? Sounds like the two of you might have some history.
I've made a lot of enemies.
Who's your favorite of the people infected with Joker's blood? Mine is the singer. I do like the singer. I do like the singer a lot. That whole plot line is really fun. The old man is good because it's just so out of nowhere.
There are 5 ID markers showing up within the.
And then the big plot twist is kind of fun. Let's go take care of this guy first. Okay. Nuh-uh. Oh my god. Dude, he's still going. He's still going. He's going. He's going. He's gone. Oh, and he froze in the sky. Dude. What tools do I have? Remote control battery. Dude, look how far he flew. Bro, that's so great. Wow. Dude got messed up. I've never seen that happen before in this game. I've never seen anything like that. That's crazy. Maybe it's a PC thing. I don't know. But I've never seen anything like that. That's so funny. That's tremendous. Let's see.
I should investigate the facility first. The only way to rescue the workers is to pull down that wall. I need to get the Batmobile into the compound.
Yeah.
I'll get the factory entrance open first. Then I'll bring in the car.
Okay. Okay. X and A for environment. Okay. Whack. Right in the dick. Oh, God. Okay. I keep trying to press down for the detective mode thing. Noob. Noob mistakes. Dick smasher. You're damn right.
Oracle. They've killed one of the workers.
Damn it.
Joker's great in this game just because he never leaves your side. Oh, yeah. No, he basically saves this whole thing. Not saves. He adds so much to it, it's crazy.
Thanks, Oracle. I found a way to get the Batmobile into the compound. They'll pay for this. All of them. Gates open. Time to bring in the car.
Yeah, it is. You better believe it. Oh, remote.
Your 60mm cannon will penetrate these heavily armored units. It'll take
Little smoke effects. Nice. Oh god, I forgot how much I hate this.
Sir, he punched through the armor, just like you said. He's searching for hostages. Keep non-essential radio chatter to a minimum. He'll be listening. You are listening, aren't you, Batman?
Nuh-uh.
To this. To all embedded units in Gotham. Operation Savior has begun. Each one of you has a role. Each of you knows your role. So move out of this damn city and lock it down. I want our hands wrapped tight around Gotham's throat within the hour.
Oh. You dirty boy, you. How did I do that? I changed the view somehow. How did I... How did I do that? Down on D-pad? Up on D-pad? Left? No. Down on D-pad isn't doing it. Hold it down, maybe? Left bumper? No. What did I do? I don't even know what I did. Okay, well, whatever. Let's do this first, and then I'll figure out why it's doing that. L1. That's the thing. I do that and I jump out. I don't know. I don't know. Codename Frost. Thank you. It's gonna play the sound effect. I just got excited. The back button. Being doing it. I don't know, man. I don't know what I did. I broke it. R1. There we go. Okay, boom. You're right. You're right. Akil got it. How did I not try that yet? I don't know. Non-lethal, of course.
Can I get some help here?
No. I'd be the most sarcastic and like annoying Batman ever.
Keep your guns trained on him. If he even looks like he's planning to leave that room, open fire. Oh, and avoid the bat symbol. It's a little trick. It's where his armor's the strongest. Aim for the weak spots, the shoulders first, then coordinate fire at the points where the plates meet.
Please.
You say something?
Leave him out of this.
Always defending the weak and the helpless. That's what I like about you. Predictable. And that's why we're gonna win. We know your move before you do. We know how you think.
Do you know what I'm thinking right now?
Of course. You're thinking, who the hell is this guy?
No. I'm just trying to decide which one of you I'm going to take out first.
And just so we're both on the same page here, I fully intend to kill you. But first, we're gonna make you suffer. We have the target.
Okay.
Just say the word and I'll end this now. Gotham will be ours. You don't understand. There are no second chances with this guy.
Lol. Butt punch. Kick, whatever. Okay, let's get you out.
The one giving the orders. He talked like he knew you.
Sure did.
You're safe now.
Adrian, thanks for coming by. Non-lethal my ass. Yeah, it's just a cannon. It's rubber though. I shoot potatoes at them. Potatoes never killed anyone.
Weapons, soldiers, shipments of hazardous materials. They knew exactly what they were doing.
He's producing his
Lucio, I'm 25.
It's bad. Real bad. We're talking about a gas cloud that could cover the entire eastern seaboard.
Where do I find Scarecrow?
I got no idea. All I know is he's moving ahead with his plan. And he's got a whole freaking army backing him up. We're screwed, Batman.
I'll stop him. But first I'm getting you out of here. Wait by the Batmobile.
Have you found Scarecrow?
Not yet. It's worse than I thought.
How much worse can it be?
He's building a bomb big enough to cover the entire East Coast in fear toxin. Take your men and get out of here. Head to GCPD and lock it down. Keep everyone inside.
I'll get my men off the streets, but I'm going nowhere. You bring anyone you find to me.
Jim, it's too dangerous.
You'll stop him. I know you will.
Stupid Jim. Come on, man. I need more skill points. I'll just hold on to them. The game's not very hard, so I don't feel the need to be like super cautious with it. Upgrading armors and
Hold
stuff.
tight. I'll get you to Commissioner Gordon.
Master Bruce, there are militia tanks all over the city. Gotham is overrun.
If I don't stop Scarecrow's bomb, there'll be no city to save.
Meow. So I got second game and then knocked it out of the past. Have you played it, Luke? Yeah, I did play some Sifu, whatever. I didn't finish it, not because the game was bad or I had any problems with it. I'm just not very good at it, and roguelike games tend to make me angry, so I just was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm good, you know? But what I did play, I really thought was solid. This is what you imagined when you thought of a Batman game, right? He's been busy. He's just played this game before. Keep doing down. Ugh. One by one? No, I'm gonna do it all at the same time. Crunch. Crunch. Just a tip to make the setting R1 battle mode so you don't have to keep holding L2 much easier. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never done that. That would have been a good idea. Oops. Why am I doing? I didn't want to do it there. Stop it. Sup,
That's
dude?
2 dead workers now. I should have stopped this.
If I had only shot the bad guys with my massive cannon, I could have saved lives.
I really think you should consider letting him help you. You're up against an entire army.
She's right. We're a team. This city needs both of us.
I can handle it, Robin. I've told you what you have to do. Now do it.
This can wait.
No, it can't. You know what's at stake. I need you to stay focused, or things will get worse. Much worse.
You shouldn't be so hard on Tim. He only wants to help.
Don't let your feelings for him cloud your judgment.
You think I want him out there in harm's way? I'd rather he stay out of it. But he could help you.
If Robin can't save those people, the fallout will be every bit as dangerous as Scarecrow.
I already blew that one. Oh, there it is. If I used my eyes... Move out of the way. Voila.
That's 3 dead now. These animals are going to pay.
We'll stop them. We always do, right?
We have a Gotham Knight simp. We did it. We kid Thomas, but let's see. So I know it's forbidden for me to compliment Gotham Knights, but the reason I like the combat, not saying it's better, okay, yeah, yes, is that its slower pace allows me to choose what happens. If it looks cool, I made it look that way. It didn't. If it didn't look cool, it's because that's just what Batman does in every fight. Okay. Okay. So people get weird when you say like one game's system is like actually quantifiably better than another, especially when they're not direct sequels. What I would say is there are some design choices in Gotham Knights that I would say are objectively worse than other things. You can still enjoy it for sure. Which is what it sounds like you're saying. You're saying like, no, I'm not saying it's better or like somehow better than the Arkham games, but it's just different and I still enjoy it. That's totally fine. I think what I would say is like, it's great if you enjoy the game and you find it interesting or compelling. That's great. I'm glad you're getting something out of it, but that does not mean that, you know, it's beyond reproach. And I don't think you'd say that either. So it's great you're enjoying the game. I just could slide under it. I'm trying to look cool, damn it. Okay, crouch, hop in like a loser. Whatever. Ring. All the way down. Voila. So I'd say that's fine. That's cool. I'm glad you're liking the game. I would say like that's certainly not a simp take I'll give you that. I wouldn't call that a simp take. The like Star Citizen thing with that guy, that was like borderline sad, like actually kind of scary, because he was like casually comparing it to smoking. And even Star Citizen fans who came into that stream were like, yeah, that guy is, I think there's, yeah, that's not, we wouldn't really agree with that. But I don't think that take that you just outlined is like outrageous. Whoop. Whoop. Come on. He's still up. Whack. I hope that helped clarify my meaning. Yeah, well, and it's the simp thing is, I think, when people assert things that they refuse to defend and they cannot be wrong in their minds, right? So it's the type of thing where it's like, I haven't spent too much money on this game. I've only spent, you know, X number of thousands of dollars, and that's not bad, because if I were smoking regularly, I would have spent more money. Like, that's also a thing. Like that's a simp take, because you're never going to be convinced that you're wrong, right? With this though, you're saying like, no, I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying I enjoy it for these reasons, and that's fine. That's totally cool. Let's see here, Thomas. I can see the clarification. It's not superior, but there are things I like it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I was saying, you're not saying that it's better. You're saying that there's things that you like about it for X, Y, and Z reasons, and that's cool. Scan. And then I'm gonna pull it up. Okay. Also, Warner Brother Montreal treated Batman Mythos better than Rocksteady ever did, but that's all I'll say is better than the other, because Batman Arkham Origins and Gotham Knights propel good world building. I do like the premises and the things that they established with, like... Wait, what did they say? Get out. Okay, I just needed to get out first. Yeah, I thought the Court of Owls storyline was really interesting. The ideas behind the design of Gotham Knights are really solid, and I like a lot of what they did, but I think a lot of other stuff, like just the minutia of the world, wasn't as good as I was hoping. Ooh, God. Notice they just had to clarify. Oh, wait, did he just say it? I'm going to turn up the volume. I think he's about to say the thing where he's like, I didn't man them because it would be too easy. He's about to say the stupid line. Whoop. That's the line. That's the line. I would be in there, but then you just, you know, hold back. That's the line. That's the stupid ass line. Probably the stupidest line I've heard. Like that is in this game, full stop. I think that actually is the stupidest line in the whole game. Because it's like the big premise of there not being people in these drones, even though that would basically mean that Batman couldn't stand a chance of defeating them because he can't kill anyone.
Well, you wouldn't try that hard. I thought you wanted to win.
Oracle. Scarecrow is preparing the bomb in the central mixing chamber. I need a way in, and I need it now.
I'm working on it, but I'm gonna need a couple minutes.
Find it, Barbara.
Patience is a virtue. You've heard that, right?
Oh, God.
These two were lucky. Scarecrow's forces have murdered the other workers.
Bastards.
Take them back to GCPD, but be careful, Jim. There's militia all over Gotham.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna go boom
We
boom.
need that route to Scarecrow. We're running out of time.
You're not gonna like this. There's only one entrance, and it's been sealed from the inside.
What about the service tunnel?
It runs behind the main wall of the facility. I've sent you the location. What are you going to do?
Improvise.
I'm gonna boom boom. I just need Bruce to yell I'm gonna boom boom whenever he's about to blow something up. Is that too much to ask? Oh, Rocky. I might just have to like sneak it in. It's like when my mom wouldn't let me like pay for lunch for the longest time. So finally I just had to be like, okay, well then I'm just gonna like, I'll just like pay for it myself and I'll sneak the money into your wallet. Like I'll just do that.
First, we need
Rotate
to focus on
down.
stopping Scarecrow. Then I'll deal with the Knight.
Ugh. Forgot how annoying this thing is.
I need to get the car into this area before I can use it.
I've disabled Steam gifting. Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, that's a problem.
Batman, I think I found a weakness in those drone tanks. I'll investigate and report back soon.
Think he took out our tank? Oh, sure. Maybe our tank took out his tank. What tank? Who else says it's a car? Why are they saying tank?
The soldiers are covered by that sentry gun. I'll have to take them out quickly.
I've 100% of this game, no joke, 8 times. Jeez, man, that's crazy.
Don't let him scare you. But he's driving a tank! A car that looks like a tank. We are the finest army ever assembled, whereas he is just one man. Let him come at us in his tank. We have hundreds of
Rotate. Stupid robot. Okay, open this. Shame they didn't make it a bit more fun. That I played Mafia 3 and League. They're so much worse. Arkham Knight could have been replaced with Prometheus and it would have been cooler.
We made it back to the precinct. God knows how.
I'll say he was a weird choice for the villain.
Must have been planning this for weeks.
Dig in and do what you can, Jim. I'll deal with them as soon as I've stopped the explosion.
Turn subtitles on. Oh yeah, Crimson, I can do that. Sorry. Maybe audio. Yeah. There we go. It should kick in a second.
Unless I have to apply it. Did I not apply it? No, it's on. Okay.
Listen up. I just got word phase 1 is complete.
Yay, phase 1. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those cape physics are creamy. You're damn right they are. And look at these environmental takedowns. Oh, God. Creamy. Creamy. And just look at the sheer number of people that they have on screen. Of course, non-lethal though. Non-lethal, of course. Totally not lethal. Oh God, I pressed Y. I screwed up my combo. Wow. Flavio, did I enjoy Star Citizen? Yeah, I actually did. I will say, like, trying to play it solo is definitely not the way the game is designed. They certainly have a priority built around playing with other people, and that's okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
I guess now we know why he evacuated the city.
He needed
Okay.
control of the plant. Only Ace Chemicals has the facilities to build a bomb of this size.
Yeah, for real.
Fallout will be huge.
We played right into his hands. He didn't care if everyone ran.
He knew that no one would be able to escape the blast radius.
All remaining units rendezvous at the staging ground on the West Island now. Just good work tonight, people. Got to the tower.
There he is.
Gentlemen, I need to get into this area before I can use it.
Forever. The night it becomes a wasteland of nightmares. A forsaken symbol of Batman's failure. A monument to fear. But more than that, we're about to...
Oh, I didn't even see a third guy. That's my B. That's my B. I didn't even see a third.
You're predictable, and you never stood a chance.
Okay. Okay, discount. Wish.com, Deathstroke, whatever. By the way, I was laughing and cringed and annoyed at the end of Plague Tale Requiem. That's funny because I did so much the opposite. That's funny. Can I think I get close. Can I do a fear takedown?
But more than that, we're about to turn Gotham into the epicenter of a blast that will transform the entire eastern coast of America into my domain.
Okay, they're over there. No one else over there.
I need to stop the chemicals being loaded into the mixing chamber. Once I clear the room, I can focus on stopping the explosion.
He just ran past his buddies. Yeah, that shadow, the silhouette of Scarecrow. Yeah, it's really, really well done. Okay, let's go maybe... Oh, the grates should make this easy. That's not what I asked to do. Like, at all. That's not even close to what I wanted to do.
Don't stop working. You're loading the reactants. Hurry it up. If not, watch those guys back. How big does this explosion need to be?
Him, I should be able to just quickly take down. Oh, I didn't even see that. That's my B. I gotta pay attention. I mean, clearly, this is on hard, so this isn't even easy. On easy, I'd be able to eat so many bullets. On hard, the idea is that you make one mistake, you're done.
Emergency. Blast radius is at 31 miles and rising.
Where's the Knight? We need backup. He's running the occupation. What the hell was that?
In here, the frames tank so bad. Dude.
And pray that you will not experience my fear toxin firsthand. The people of Gotham.
I think it's the smoke effects, but in here, the frames go down to like 35. Bruce should just carry a bat laser. Non-lethal, of course. Non-lethal.
It appears that the flow of chemicals has stopped, which can only mean that you are here, Batman.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to seeing you again.
This is badass. You ready?
Do you really think you've won? Fear makes you predictable. I am in complete control.
How do I shut it down?
I'm in control.
Let me go, or she dies.
What are you talking about?
Barbara Gordon.
Have you found him?
Get out of there, now!
Relax. No one knows I'm here.
That aged well.
Nothing hurts like losing one of the family. Knowing that there is no one to blame but yourself.
Alfred.
I heard what that maniac said to you, sir. I've been trying to contact Miss Gordon, unfortunately with no success.
Keep trying.
Preparing neutralizing agent.
What are you doing? It's too late. You can't stop it.
I know. I'm not trying to stop it, but I can reduce
Yep. Sorry. I don't want to
the
press.
blast radius.
And what will happen to you?
That doesn't matter. Find her, Alfred.
Neutralizing agent deployed.
These canisters are highly volatile. I'm going to have to move slowly. Be very careful.
Sir, I urge you to reconsider. Evacuate now.
Move slowly.
In that blast, you will die.
There's no other way, Alfred.
There's always a way, sir. Please.
I need to be more careful. Slow and steady. Not too fast.
It's like my first time. Gently boo. Yeah. I get it. That's fair. That's fair. You know, this YouTube thing was fun. I get it. If everyone's gonna leave, I get it.
It's my fault they took her.
She was aware of the risks, Master Bruce. She'll be as angry as you are that she's allowed this to happen. Sir, listen to me. Don't you see? This is what he wants. Without you, Gotham will be at his mercy. You cannot let him win.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you must. I only booed because he beat me to the joke. Ah. Well, then in that case, you're welcome. This part has to be so annoying for speedrunners.
I'm monitoring that facility. You're out of time. I'm begging you, leave now.
It's what you taught me. Do the right thing. That's all that matters.
Master Bruce, I implore you. You must get out of there. If this is about Miss Gordon, you cannot blame yourself for what's happened. Save yourself before it's too late.
Goodbye, Alfred.
No, Batman!
Neutralizing agent deployed. Blast radius increased.
Oh.
1000%. 1000%. 1000%.
Bye, Alfred. Ah, that actually got me.
Miss me? Miss me?
That got me. I knew it was coming and it still got me. Huh. Oh, goodness. Jim Gordon DLC. Notice how lively the place looks during daytime? It's weird.
Great. How the hell am I supposed to get in?
Voice pattern analyzed.
I just looked into it, and the reason Batman's face looks like this is because Kevin Conroy did some facial scanning they used for the model, so Batman is 7 years old. Oh, well, there you go. Dude, the screen tearing is so painful.
What the hell is this place?
Commissioner,
He's one of my favorites.
you have to get me out of here. They've locked me up.
I love his hair.
Like I'm some kind of guinea pig. There's nothing wrong with me.
Clip, clop, clippity, cloppity.
What do you want, pig? Coming in here eyeballing me. You think you can police me? Nobody polices the Goliath.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. You are the police commissioner. Your face was on that billboard they replaced with mine. What are you waiting for, old-timer? Johnny C doesn't do requests.
Miss me already, Bats? Oh, it's you, Commissioner Boredom. What have you done with my soulmate? If you try to come between us, I'll carve you a smile so wide your head falls off.
Batman,
I'm glad you came.
Batman, no.
You need to see this.
What is this place? Who are these people?
Before it killed him, Joker sent his infected blood out to all the hospitals in the state.
I know, we tracked it all down.
We missed some.
How?
Hospital errors.
We had what we call
Transfusions that
an
went
oopsie.
unrecorded. 5 people were affected. Untreated, the blood's gestated too long. It's altering them. They're becoming...
Joker. My God.
It's a form of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, but mutated beyond anything on medical record.
What about that one? He doesn't look like the others.
Henry Adams. He's been infected the longest, but he's symptomless. Immune to Joker's blood. I've got Robin running tests to find out why. One thing's for certain. Henry's the key to all this.
I've cooperated. I've done everything you asked. You said it would only take a few days.
You can't hold him here against his will.
We're close, Jim. We can't let him go until we save the others.
Batman, you kidnapped an old man.
You said 5. I only count 4. There's one missing.
He'll be here soon.
Dun dun dun.
Can you hear me, Bruce? I can.
He looks so good in this.
Old surprise, Bats. You knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Me stuck deep inside you. Together, we're going to give this city what it deserves. A new Batman. A better Batman. A darker, more... Well, we can come back to this later. First, we need to agree on some priorities. Sure, you saved the city by reducing the blast, but Ace Chemicals is still about to explode. You need to start looking out for yourself. After all, you're brooding for 2 now.
You're brooding for 2 now. I love it.
Oh, Bats, I've missed you. All the subtlety and nuance of a napalm enema.
Napalm enema. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's good. I'm going to use that. I get that after eating chili. Oh, God. Cool detail, Joker's makeup comes back as Batman starts to get more Joker-y. Yeah, there's so many good details with this. I thought this was such a crazy good implementation of this plot point. Like, Cyberpunk 2077 tried to do this with Keanu and Silverhand. This is a way better implementation. Way better.
They've got tanks, missiles. Their forces are all over Gotham.
Crane got away. I was exposed to his toxin.
Good Lord, are you all right? Remember what happened at the asylum?
It's okay. I had a bad reaction, but it's over now.
I've really got to hand it to Scarecrow. I've never been a fan of his concoctions up till now, but this match, it's...
I have a question for you guys. Do you remember, did they tell anyone that the Joker was going to be in this game? I don't think they told anybody. I don't think it was in any of the marketing. I believe, and Mark Hamill, I remember him doing an interview after Arkham City, and he said he was not playing the Joker in games again. He was retiring from the character. So my understanding is, like, this was totally out of left field. Like, nobody knew this was coming. Total surprise. And I just freaking love that. I love it. You know, it brings up a question, like, should games media communicate when something like that happens? Or is it, like, not cool to do that? You know? To, like, kind of withhold information from people? I don't know. I kind of understand it. If a developer is like, hey, we have this really cool reveal, we don't think you should tell anybody. I feel like it's reasonable to respect that request and not tell fans. Because, like, even in God of War, there's some things that, I mean, people who are looking for easy clicks could put in their... Or in God of War Ragnarok, there's stuff that you could get easy clicks if you, like, put it in your thumbnails and stuff. But they don't, like, I don't think you should do it because it's such a cool moment when you realize it. I freaking love having the Joker in this.
I've got to go. Batman's here. What's wrong, Jim? Come on, you're scaring me.
It's Barbara. She's been taken.
No. I spoke to her. She said she got out. She left hours ago.
Stay calm. We'll get her back.
Which one? Who's got my little girl?
Scarecrow. They took her from the clock tower.
All right, we need to go. There could be a clue, something that will lead us to her.
I'll follow. Stay in contact.
You've got to tell him it's your fault at some point, Bats. And the great thing is, I'll be standing right there when you do.
They pull so many of these cool little camera transitions where he just appears and disappears. It's great.
Why did I let this happen?
There's no way you could have predicted this, Jim.
It's my job to predict it as a cop and a father. The whole thing's gone down on my watch.
Wow, he is a terrible driver. You notice that? He's just casually driving on the median.
Pursuing forces, this is Arkham Knight. Your priority is to apprehend Commissioner Gordon. I say again, your priority is to apprehend the Commissioner. I want him alive. Let nothing stand in your way.
Yeah, that's definitely non-lethal. Definitely non-lethal, for sure.
That's the last of them. We're clear.
It's too dangerous, Jim. Get in the Batmobile. I'll take us to the clock tower.
Oh, what is that? Oh, God. Man, I thought this port was better than it is. I knew it was rough. I didn't think it was this bad.
One piece, Batman. We're running out of time.
Joker appearing on billboards and statues is the best. Then you're like, what was that? You look back and it's back to normal. This game is really messing with you. Yeah, no, there's so many good little details. You'll like grab no hook up to the top of a skyscraper and then he just appears. And he has a little one-liner and then as you climb up, he disappears. It's great. Okay.
Founders Island is the militia stronghold, protected by long-range radars and a missile launcher. I'd recommend keeping the Batmobile away from there for the time being. The remaining drone forces on Bleak Island have been redeployed to protect the clock tower, so expect significant resistance.
Okay.
Thanks, Alfred. I'm heading there now.
What is happening? What are these black flickers?
He's coming. Switching to manual control. I'll stop him, sir.
Jim, the clock tower's surrounded. I'll clear the area. Let you know when it's safe to head inside.
You're
If only we had people inside the drones, then he wouldn't shoot them. Like at this point, seriously, all the Arkham Knight would have to do is just put a dude sitting on it, like strap a baby to the hood, like anything.
There are militia troops all over the clock tower, Jim. You'll be safe in the Batmobile. I'll let you know when the area is secure.
I'm not just sitting here while you go after those bastards.
Yes, you are, Jim. Barbara wouldn't want you to get yourself killed. I'll be in touch the minute I'm done.
The second.
Lol.
He's on our tail! Help on that thing! Come on, lose him! Red, go, go! That thing will flatten us! Move! I'm going!
Whoop. Okay. Non-lethal car crash. Yeah, non-lethal though.
Without taking out the militia troops on the roof of the clock tower.
Fine. I don't understand why he couldn't go into the secured location while they're down there. Like, how does that make any sense? It's like, it's not safe. It kind of is though. Like, just quickly knock him out. He's over there. We'll take him out first. You'd think they'd notice that he was in mid-sentence, but they don't. Those aren't explosions. They're just fun pops. I like fun pops. I like that. That's good. Punch. Okay, boom. Okay, now can I get up and do this extremely urgent thing? Like, why was that so necessary?
Jim, the area is secure. Meet me in the clock tower.
Oh, because Jim wanted in? I thought... Okay, whatever. Oh. Trippy. This is so great.
Colleen?
This is so great.
Candy grab! Oh, don't pass out just yet. Come on.
He's wearing a hat that says flashback.
Just wait till your father gets home. He's going to be furious about all this mess.
I should probably help her, right? See the little flip around? This is what happens when you drag your friends into this crazy little game of ours. I can't help but feel mildly responsible. Oh, the screen tearing's so bad, dude. Commissioner, Batgirl swoops in to rescue Jim Gordon from the Joker.
How cool is that?
Nothing like a trip down old memory lane, eh, Bats?
Looks fine to me. Okay, then it's on my end. Weird.
Seat to the main event. You would have thought old Jim Gordon had been through enough. First, some handsome young maniac cripples his daughter. Now he's blaming himself for her being taken. You really should tell him this is your fault, Bats. I'm sure he'll understand. I mean, it's not like you went out and got his daughter killed. Well, not yet anyway. The night's still young.
I think what I need to do to fix it then is probably lock it to 60. Because the stream capture card is only capturing it at 60. Nope, it still has screen tearing. Is that really not coming through on stream? Oh, on my end it shows it. See all the on the bottom third? I don't know.
Jim's on his way up. I can't do that now.
Oh. Awkward.
Oh God, no.
Try switching to windowed full screen. Okay. Please hold. Oh!
This isn't your fault, Jim.
I think that fixed it.
Of course it is. Crane's done this to get to me. I should have been here.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I was like, it fixed it, but it made it worse.
We haven't got time. She's not like us.
Identity confirmed.
She's strong, Jim. Stronger than you realize.
She works for you? This is all your fault.
I will find her.
She's my family! My daughter! She's all I've got! I never should have trusted you. Never!
Not the bat phone!
I'll do this on my own. Stay away from my family.
I want my family back. Well, I can't help but feel a little bad. Guilty. What's he doing?
I think that went quite well, considering. Of course, I wouldn't have told him, but that's why it's so liberating being me. You've got a lot to look forward to, Bats.
I need to find out what happened to Barbara. They covered their tracks by disabling the clock tower security cameras. If I hack the municipal CCTV system, I should be able to monitor all access points to the building.
Oh, I hate this part.
That's no good. I need to find out who took Barbara and how they're transporting. They probably took her in one of those vehicles. I need to confirm which one, so that's the Arkham Knight's militia. That's the Arkham Knight. He's got Barbara. I need to confirm which car he took her in. There. That's the vehicle they took Barbara away in. Those tires are Amertech D60s. I can program the Batmobile to track their unique tread pattern. It'll lead me right to them.
Science. Stay in school, kids. That's what we get from that.
Lockdown clock tower. Authorization. Batman.
I do love the clock tower design. Oh, can you imagine living here? It would be initially really cool. It'd probably end up being super annoying because it would just be loud all the time.
Think about it. How did Scarecrow know to go after your IT department? I mean, I had no idea she worked for you when I shot her. I just got lucky.
He's sitting in the wheelchair.
I was aiming for her head. Oh, if I'd only had a video camera when I
Oh,
swept
God.
off her feet. Poor old Jimbo had to make do with a slideshow.
Seriously, I was aiming for her head. Hit her dead in the spine. Oh, wow. Wow, that's pretty good. I forgot about that line. That line's very funny. Okay, anyway. Dude, there's just so many little things in this game. And like this is one of those, it's like it was The Last of Us originally in 2013. They said very clearly, you will only ever play as Joel. This is Joel's story. You're playing as Joel. Ellie's along for the ride, but you're playing as Joel. And they openly like lied to press because press would be like, do you ever play as Ellie? And they're like, no, we don't do that. We're just playing Joel. And so they lied to the public, but as cringe as it may be, it was for a good reason. It ended up like really adding to, I think, most people's experience. Because when you got to play as Ellie, it was like, oh, wow, that was cool. That was awesome. Did not see that coming. And so like, this is the same thing where like, they didn't tell you were going to see Joker again. They were like, no, Joker's not in this game. Hamill retired. We're moving on. Honestly, they probably asked Hamill, they're like, can you announce publicly that you're retiring from the role? Just to like shut it down and it'll be a total surprise. And he's probably like, oh, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. We'll surprise so many people that way. So I don't love the idea of lying to your fans, but I do love the effect of it when it's just a total surprise, you know? Are you promoting lying? Caught. Expose. TMZ. Luke Stevens likes lying, endorses lying. It's just so good. It's so good. I love these moments where you just are genuinely surprised. It's one of my favorite things about playing video games is when there's a moment where you're genuinely like, I did not see that coming. What the hell? Unfortunately, nowadays, there's not a lot of games that really surprise me anymore. You know, like maybe I'm just an old geezer, but I feel like there's not many big surprises that often. But these games, I mean, these games really nailed it. Oh goodness. I wish more games had surprises like this. You don't get much these days. Yeah. Well, in so many games, their advertising spoils the entire game. Like, you watch one trailer for the game and you feel like you've played the whole game. You're like, okay, well, then why do I need to do it? Like, I've seen everything. Because there's only like 3 or 4 interesting things in the game, like really cool things. And so they're like, well, we have to sell the game to people, so we'll show all of that. Just show everything. It's a bummer. Gotham Knights. Yeah, like all of the big boss reveals and stuff were all in the trailers for Gotham Knights. It's like actually kind of annoying. It's like all NDA. You have to lie, but sometimes for good reasons. Imagine they tell you earlier that Luke was the son. Yeah, no, it would just be like, what's the point of the story if you know where it's going? Exactly. Do you have Season of Infamy? I do not believe so. Doesn't ring a bell. Let's see. Rocky, you were gonna be source of God of War Ragnarok playthrough. Be the like, you mean you guys want me to play Ragnarok on stream? I'm down. They don't have any early embargoes lifting for streaming, so we'd have to wait until launch day, and then we could go through on like New Game Plus. I'm down for that. It's good. Maybe we go through a New Game Plus on Give Me God of War or something. Well, New Game Plus actually might have spoilers. It's probably not New Game Plus. Probably just New Game on Give Me God of War. That's probably how we should do it. I should say I've not beaten the 2018 game. Crimson, literally on the main menu of Ragnarok, there is the top option. Like normally it's New Game, Continue, Load. Top option for Ragnarok is a little text that reads Story Recap. And you click on it, and then it retells the story in broad strokes from the first game. So we can do it. It takes like 2 minutes, and it recaps the whole story with all the major plot points. So we can do that. Like, that's not a problem. Did I play Gotham Knights? Yeah. Play Elden Ring on stream for a while, and then Ragnarok. Maybe what we'll do, Thesaurus, is towards the Game Awards, we'll like prime ourselves by playing some more Elden Ring. We'll go back to that, and then we'll play some more Ragnarok and kind of explore both of them. Do you like anchovies, Luke? No, I do not. Sure don't. Sure don't. Is this the end? Well, I was thinking we could do the reaction to setups, but we've had about 100 people drop off while we played the game over the last like hour. So maybe we wait till Monday morning, and Monday morning it'll be like the first thing we do on the agenda is react to setups. Maybe we do that. Just so people, like more people have a chance to see the reaction to their setups live. That might be fun. Gotham Knights, it's kind of boring because it's more of freedom, not missions. Well, but I would say the missions that you do have are all like literally copy and pasted. Like it's insane how many times it's just go here, punch these guys, and then run away. Like that's it. But did you watch Blight Survival gameplay? I did not. I'll add that to the list. May not be there Monday because of work, but we'll catch up if it will be uploaded. Oh, it will. Don't worry. Look at us know what are your musical interests. Napper Neil, I like a little bit of everything. Like whether it's like occasionally everything from opera to show tunes to the Kid Leroy to like old school Eminem to like Lil Wayne over to Marilyn Manson. Like I kind of listen to everything. I don't have like one thing that I listen to. Has your channel ever gotten demonetized? I got demonetized today for some reason. No, I've never dealt with it. Knock on wood. But you know, we've been very careful. We always very carefully rate our videos based on what content is contained therein. We don't use excessive language. We don't show like real world violence. It's only ever video game stuff. So we're very cautious. Very, very cautious. Will you do another Star Citizen stream, Luke? Yeah, Geralt, I think I might. Probably when they do that big event with the free access in a couple weeks, we'll probably jump on it then. And go again and try it. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be so many people in there, but we'll probably try it. New Kid, Beetlejuice on Broadway. I'm jealous. I've seen the videos of them performing it. It looks great. Are you still open to people sending you short form stuff? Yeah, it gets kind of drowned out in the email. So maybe like tagging me on Discord is the best way because I can get back to it eventually and it won't get drowned out in the sea and flood of emails that I get. But I'm open to it. You know, we're working with potentially getting some corporate help for like TikToks and stuff to pump out like 15 to 20 TikToks a week. But whenever there's like, because segments from the news stories and that type of thing, those are easy for us to cut together because we basically take the highlights that we cut together for the clips channel and we turn those into TikToks and it's not a big deal. What we have trouble with are the more candid moments during gameplay or during the regular stream. Those are the things that are tough. So if there's a moment during the stream that you find interesting or that you think, oh, that could make a funny or an interesting 10, 20 second TikTok, clipping that's a big help. That's an actual like big help because that's something like I can't, it doesn't really make sense for me to just tell the
the editing team like, oh yeah, just go through the whole stream and find interesting moments. Like that's not a great use of their time. Whereas it's way easier if like you guys are watching and then as a viewer you're like, oh, that was a good moment, and then you just like clip it from there. YouTube has a clipping feature, but like at that moment you can just clip that, and I think that'll be a big help. I create highlight video. Boom. I guess I think that's new. That's interesting. Huh. But anyway, I think we'll call it there. It's also 84 degrees in here, so we'll call it there. Creamy. Yeah, exactly. So we'll call it there. I will be rocking through God of War Ragnarok through the weekend. We'll try to get the review up for Monday. It'll be awesome. And then we will be back Monday streaming, rocking and rolling, having a great time. I appreciate all of you guys chilling. I can edit it all, Luke. Oh, thank you, Rocky. That'd be wonderful. We Gucci gang. Gucci gang. Appreciate you. Yes, I mean, I'll also connect with Jacob and we'll try to get all of the stuff coordinated, Rocky, so you get the you and Imperium get on the list or get on the email that goes out with the Google Docs and stuff. So we'll just tie it all together there. That can be like our hub. That could be nice. But sweet. Much love, everybody. Thanks for chilling with me. Thank you to everybody who donated, became members. I really do appreciate that. That's wonderful. Appreciate every single one of you. Have a wonderful weekend. I know it might be a long weekend if you're waiting for Ragnarok, but trust me, it will be worth it. Much love. I will see you guys soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye. Yeah, I should have the temperature in the corner of the stream. That would be kind of funny. Just a big thermometer. Maybe we'll do that. Who knows? Much love, guys. I'll see you on Monday.